Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Morning, guys. Welcome. Thanks for joining, everyone. Happy Monday. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. Hope everyone had a great weekend and ready to have another great week in the markets.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Recording in progress.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Stocks Never Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. Thanks, everyone, for joining. It's almost 7 a.m. Eastern, Monday morning, August 11. Welcome, guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend and ready to get into these markets this week. We're going to go over this week's top news. We'll go over all the earnings this week. We'll pay attention to those days with the big names and also the days with the high impact news. Okay, so we'll briefly go over this week's news and then we'll get into the charts and then we'll get started with gold, NASDAQ, and US 30. Again, guys, just trade with proper risk management. And let's get into this. So I hope everyone's doing good. And let's see what the markets give us this week. There's lots going on. Crypto over the weekend saw some big bullish moves on most notable names, especially Bitcoin. It's almost at its all-time high. So we'll see if we can break that this week and see how high it can go. Again, it's price discovery if it does break 123,000. So hopefully we see maybe 135 to 150,000 in the next few weeks. So that's pretty exciting, guys. And let's get into this, guys. So thanks to everyone for joining. Going into Forex Factory real quick. Today, not much news going on, and you guys might be looking at different news outlets as well. You guys might see some other stuff that I don't see, but just looking over here, a lot of low impact news today. Not much coming out of Europe and North America today. So very light day news-wise, but it is the beginning of the week. So it is a Monday, so just careful when you are trading. Regardless if there is high impact news or there isn't, okay? Moving into tomorrow's news, we do have, just after midnight my time, we do have a lot of Australian red folders. So out in Australia, they have their cash rate. It looks like a 0.25% decrease in the forecast. And then they'll have the monetary policy, the rate statement, and then the press conference 1 hour later. And if you are trading the Australian dollar, very, very, very high impact for all those red folders. It's basically its own FOMC, and then they do have the press conference after, okay? And then we start to move into pre-London over here at 2 a.m. Eastern. There is some British news coming out. The British unemployment rate will be released. So we'll see how everything is doing in the UK regarding employment. And there is some news in China. And then we move into our North American block. Then we get our first high impact news of the week coming Tuesday morning at 8:30. So we'll be trading this together tomorrow and we'll be analyzing it. We do have our core CPI month over month. And you guys know what core means by now because we go over this on a weekly basis. Core is everything that excludes food and energy. So it's the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers. Core meaning excluding two of the most important ones, food and energy. So we'll see what the actual reading is when it comes through. It was 0.2% the previous core CPI month, and they're forecasting an increase of 0.1 on the core. We'll see what the actual number is. And then there's another one, CPI month over month. Notice how it doesn't include core. So then this one obviously includes food and energy. So this is the bigger reading. This one is the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, and it excludes food and energy. So this one we will see. Last month it was 0.3%. They're forecasting a decrease to 0.1, and we'll see what the actual number is. Then finally, we get the big reading. This is the CPI year over year. So this time last year, we were sitting at 2.7%, and they're forecasting basically a year over year this time for 2.8. So an increase of 0.1. And this has to do with inflation. So we'll see how this numbers come out, and this could affect the policy rate that's coming in September. So maybe if we see inflation going down, maybe it might be time for a rate decrease. If inflation is continuing to go up, maybe there might be a pause in rate cut. So we'll see what happens there. That's Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning. And then we do have some FOMC speakers speaking right after Wall Street at 10 a.m. And we do have some afternoon New York news, and then we go into the future session. Midweek Wednesday, coming out of Europe, there is some German news, the German 10-year bond auction, and then we move into North America. We won't have any 8:30 news scheduled Wednesday this week, but we do have our weekly crude oil inventories Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we do have some FOMC members speaking. They're all low impact. And Australia, again, has some red folders at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the employment change and an unemployment rate. Okay. And then we move into Thursday this week. Thursday looks like the busier day for news. Starting in pre-London in Europe, there's a lot of British folders. So you can see that there's high impact folders, GDP month over month in the UK. You got your prelim GDP quarter over quarter, construction output, goods trade balance, index of service, industrial production, manufacturing productions, your business investments. So you can see that Thursday, if you are trading the pound, it's going to be pretty volatile going into London on Thursday with all of this British news. And lots of news coming out of Europe. We got some Swiss news. There's some Swiss news regarding gold and bullion right now, so that's in the news. So we'll see how that shapes up for the next little bit. That could affect the price of gold. So we'll keep an eye on that because we do trade gold on a daily basis. And then Europe has some more flash GDP, flash employment, some French final sales. And then we move into our North American session, which we tend to trade together. So this one is what I'll be looking at. So we had CPI on Tuesday, and then Thursday, same time, 8:30 a.m., we're going to start to see some high impact PPI news. So we're going to have core PPI and regular PPI. Again, what is PPI and core? So just quickly click on your folder, and it measures a change in price of finished goods and services sold by producers. So CPI has to all do with consumers. You and I are consumers and spending. This has to do with producers. So what we consume, we got to buy from producers. So core is the first one, again, excluding food and energy. And then we'll get the next reading, which is PPI month over month. That will include your food and energy. And then finally, we'll have our unemployment claims, our weekly unemployment claims. So if you guys remember last week, we were 226,000 individuals applied week over week for unemployment, and the forecast is pretty much the same at 225. So we'll see if the actual number is significantly above or below this forecast, or is it relatively the same? Okay, and this is week over week. A non-farm payroll, that's the big one, the first Friday of the month. That's the month over month one, and the bigger one for job production. And then there's lots of news throughout the day on Thursday. Australian news, a lot of Australian news this week. We have natural gas storage over here, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and got some New Zealand news in the after hours, some Japanese news, and then Chinese news coming out. So you can see that that's more the later sessions when we move into Australia, New Zealand, Tokyo, and the Asian sessions in the futures. And then finally, to wrap up everything this week, Friday, notice Friday, there's bank holidays in Europe. Friday, August 15, we have all-day bank holidays in France, in Italy, so they'll be enjoying their day off. We'll be continuing to trade. There's also ECOFIN meetings all day on Friday. We move into the North American block right over here. We'll have some Canadian low impact news, and then we get some US high impact news, red folders at 8:30. We'll have core retail sales month over month and our retail sales month over month, which is not including core, okay? And then we have our Empire State Manufacturing Index. We move into Wall Street on Friday. We do have some U.S. news prior to Wall Street market opening up, capacity utilization rate and the industrial production. And then we go through Wall Street, and then 10 a.m., our new 10 a.m. candle on Friday. This could provide the volatility on Friday. So we have to be careful trading in here. We have our preliminary University of Michigan consumer report, and then our preliminary University of Michigan inflation expectations. And that will wrap up Friday and the week news-wise. So the big days in North America are Tuesday, Thursday with CPI and PPI, and then Friday with these Michigan consumer reports, okay? And then let's move into earnings. We do have a lot of earnings this week. So again, let's go over this Monday to Friday, pre-market and after hours, and kind of pinpoint the big names. There's going to be a lot of names. Okay, some names, again, we always talk about, maybe we don't even trade them. Maybe they don't have a big impact on Dow Jones or NASDAQ or S&P. But again, I always state that you can trade these individual companies by buying shares of the company, or in the options, okay, if they do have options available. But today, Monday morning, we have Monday.com already reporting, Barrick Mining Corporation, Franco in Nevada Corporation, Village Farms. So you see, I'm going through here. I can go through this whole list. Again, there isn't any significant name that I'm particularly trading or that I see that will affect Dow Jones or NASDAQ this morning. So I continue to move on into the after hours. Then we see Big Bear AI, Oklo Inc., AST, Space Mobile, AMC. Okay, some of you guys are trading this company. You guys remember GameStop, AMC back during the COVID time. So maybe some of you guys are still trading these or holding on to these things. But AMC reports. What else we got? Plug Power. Okay, anything to do with electric vehicles over here. That's today in the after hours. Let's move into tomorrow morning. We got this nice little ad right here. There we go. Tuesday morning before the open. Circle Internet Group, C Limited, On Holding, Copen Corp, Pony AI. Again, I don't see big names. Bitcoin Depot tomorrow. Just I keep scrolling until I see those big names or anything worth mentioning. But like I don't think these are gonna really have an impact on the markets. But you can see that there's a lot of earnings, guys. Someone said to me, Ron, last week, I didn't know that there was this many corporations that have earnings. There's a lot of them. There's not just the stock market is not just S&P 500. There's a lot of other securities other than S&P 500. Those are just your main index, but you have a lot of these, a lot of corporations, okay? That report on a daily basis. And pre-markets, after hours, you can see how busy it is. Very busy. Okay, now we start to get in on Wednesday after hours, Cisco Systems. Okay, this is security in Dow Jones. So Cisco over here will be reporting. Equinox Gold Corporation. So we'll see some gold corporations report gold. Again, you got to dig gold out of earth. You got to mine it. So we can watch gold miners with the price of gold. I'm sure that they're doing pretty good quarter over quarter with the price of gold hitting recently all-time highs and just it's right above it's right near those all-time highs. So I'm sure that these gold miners will have some good reporting. First Majestic Silver Core will be reporting Thursday before the open. We did a blog on this one over here. Okay, so you don't always have to just look at gold. You can look at silver companies. You can trade silver. You can look at silver mining companies. You can look at copper. So when COMEX market opens, it's an exchange for all of the commodities and metals. So there's not just gold. There's other things you can look at. John Deere over here, Deere & Company will be reporting, JD.com, Advanced Auto Parts, Birkenstock Holdings. Okay, so maybe some more familiar names now. That's Thursday before the open. Moving into Thursday after hours, we have Applied Materials, New Holdings, wow, Gambling.com group. Okay, so maybe some of us that are gambling in the markets and not using proper risk management, maybe we should take a look at this company over here. What is this? So there is a company called Gambling.com over here. So if you like gambling, maybe take a look at that company and maybe you can make some money on a gambling company. That's wild. And then to finish off the week, Friday morning, we have Flowers Foods, Bitfufu over here, Jones Soda. Some of you guys enjoy their soda pop. And Friday after hours, probably not much going on. So that's news. That's earnings this week. Again, news-wise, CPI, PPI, Tuesday, Thursday this week. Earnings-wise, no real big names, just Cisco in that after hours and just some smaller names. So that's what's going on this week. Our news right now today while you're drinking your coffee in the morning, no rally lasts forever. Why looking beyond the U.S. market makes sense for investors. So you can look at markets too, not just the North American or the United States markets. You can look in the Chinese markets. You can look in the European markets. You can look in the South American markets. You can look in different markets around the world. Remember, financial trading is global, not just New York and Wall Street. So there's other exchanges you can look at, all parts around the world. Again, it's a flow of liquidity moving from one exchange to the next exchange all over the world. Canada's economy lost 41,000 jobs in July as youth unemployment soars. So yeah, so that might be affecting not just Canada, maybe your country as well. So youth unemployment, our younger generation are not working, not finding jobs. So we can see that here in Canada, big job loss over here in our youth. Hopefully that can pick up, and so we can have a good, stable economy over here. Gas price expert, enjoy your summer time out while you can afford it. Okay, so if you want to do your summer travel, now is the time, with fuel being, I'm not going to say cheap, but I'm going to say it's a lot lower than what it was in the past. So if you're going on vacation, now is the time to enjoy it, because it could be going up in the near future. Canadian dollar clings to weekly gain as rate cut bets edge up jobs data. Sun Life Financial Q2 profit up 11% at $716 million. What else we got going on here? Wall Street futures steady. Chip stocks slip on China sales deal. So we'll keep an eye on that. And beyond Bitcoin, 4 other cryptocurrencies to consider. There's probably a good article to read. XRP, Ethereum, they're probably going to be taken off. They have taken off a little bit, but we'll see if they can really take off. Okay. And in the markets right now, S&P is flat, negative 0.01. Basically, where it opened, it's exactly where it is. Sorry, the E-mini S&P is 0.15%, mini Dow is 0.25% up, and NASDAQ is 0.08. So we'll see when markets open up during Wall Street. This will completely change, okay? Gold futures are down, negative 2.25% right now, okay? So we'll take a look at that as well. Discord, guys, anything that you want to read up on, there's some market sentiments over here. So you have your crypto, there's some sentiment on Bitcoin, Ethereum over here. If we move into FX pairs, you'll have some sentiment on USD JPY, bullish and bear scenarios. GBP USD and Euro USD, some of the common pairs. In the commodities, we have gold. The price in the bullish scenario, the price is still holding above the key support of 3,300. The negative change is relatively small, indicating potential consolidation before a possible uptrend. Bear scenario, the price is currently below the 24-hour moving average. There might be further downside potential if the support at 3,300 is breached. Crude oil is silver, and guys, we got a signal on gold. If we can keep an eye on 3360 to 65 level for a potential buy. So we're getting a pullback, but we'll see at that area. If we'll mark it on our charts and keep our eyes on it. Okay, indices as well. US 30. We'll be taking a look at NASDAQ today, and if you are trading DAX coming out of Europe, there is some bullish and bear sentiments over there. Okay. And also, guys, everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining. 160 viewers. If you guys can hit the subscribe button, like the channel, hit the notification bell so you can join us on a daily basis here. There is a free Telegram channel that's pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. It's right over here. And all of the links for our live trading is available for you guys. Our trade setup. So we did some crypto over the weekend, buys on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they hit profit over the weekend. So we saw a little nice bullish bounce on the weekend on crypto. Congratulations to those that took those trades and banked some few pips. Guys, we did a blog for members, weekly market outlooks, and there is also blogs for non-members available as well. So just click on that link and go through this. This is the blog on Silver Core Metals. They also have their earnings this week. So brief little introduction of what this company is. And again, guys, you make sure you do your own due diligence. These are just for education for you guys and to learn about different corporations, different companies, different sectors that you can trade, where you don't just have to trade like XAU, USD, and NQ or YM. There's other securities in the financial markets. Okay, guys. So that's the free Telegram channel. And also our website, stocksnipertrading.com. You guys are more than welcome to visit this. Check out all the education that we provide, courses, webinars, boot camps, lots of education there. You'd be surprised. It is kind of overwhelming how many videos there is on there, but it's been a collection of years and years and years of making these. And we're going to get back into it in a couple weeks, as soon as we get back into September and life gets back to normal, and we'll be back at all of this. So our live sessions this week with myself and Dave are posted, and the free blog is available right over here. There's the weekly market outlook for members, silver core metals blog, decoding a candlestick. Also, guys, make sure you understand what a real body of a candle is, volume wise, point of control, learn your wicks on a candle. That's your basics, but you need to learn these if you want to learn price action. If you're not worried about price action, then I wouldn't be worried about the candlestick or a body or a wick. If you have other strategies for trading and other ways that you read price, that's fine. Then don't worry about the candlestick. Compounding rules in mathematics. So that's what you want to kind of strive to, is compounding your account. Slowly but surely it'll start to grow, and once you start getting that ball rolling, then it will really start to grow. So again, guys, strive for compounding mathematics in trading. Slow and steady wins the race, and it takes more time, but at least you'll do it without stressing yourself out. Okay. And trading the news. Well, we have CPI, PPI news this week. Importance of wicks on candlesticks. We did Eldorado Gold and Eris Mining. They already reported. And let's just continue with looking at the charts now, okay? So we're going to move into gold, XAU USD. Right now, this is how it's moving on the 5 minutes. We're going to do a top-down analysis. We're going to go from the daily down to 4-hour, hourly, and then get it down to the 5 minutes. This is DXY. This is your US dollar index right over here. This is how the US dollar is performing against the other major currencies in the world, which are the Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen, the euro, the pound, the New Zealand dollar, and Australian dollar. So right now it's seeing that it is bullish. So the US dollar is strong compared to those other currencies. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing today, guys. Again, everyone on Zoom, thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Welcome Monday morning. Thank you for joining. Red Clues, welcome. Cheers, bro. Vanita, welcome. Conrad, Bruce, DCY, welcome. Samuel, good morning. Danny, the Jays certainly did not know. That was a big series. Dodgers are stacked. Otani is an animal. That guy is, wow. He can hit that ball and he can pitch. It was a tough series, and it doesn't get any easier, Danny. Now they got the Cubs coming up. So it's a good test for the Blue Jays, but those are some big baseball squads. The Dodgers are probably going to win everything, in my opinion. They're the team to beat in MLB. But yeah, that's pretty good. We'll keep an eye on that. Lady Stone, welcome. Sarah, good morning. Thank you guys for joining. And everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining as well. Welcome, guys. Assist, Fen DSM, welcome. Thank you for joining. Adele, welcome. Good morning to you. Red Clues, thank you. Welcome. Again, MB, Purity, welcome, guys. Sid, thank you, guys. Okay, so we're going to get in. Yes, if you guys can hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, we do appreciate it. Let's get started, guys. So we're going to get started with gold. XAU USD over here. You guys might be trading the futures with GC. Just make sure you guys are on the right contract. And let's continue to look at price action, okay? So we're going to start off on the daily, on the higher time frame. Okay, so again, we're going to do a little analysis of how things are moving. We're still inside this massive range. So gold is obviously on a yearly, monthly. If we do a really higher time analysis, it is in an uptrend, but we are consolidating. Like, there has been pullbacks, but it's been a higher low. There's been a pullback, it's been a higher low. There's been a pullback here, it's been a higher low, and we are coming down right now. Today we'll see where we can maybe find a bottom. Maybe it might be a bearish day today. It is already a bearish day, but we'll see if it will even go down further down, or we'll find some support somewhere today. But first thing is, let's all identify this big bullish move right here, which took us to the all-time high on gold. 3,500 is our all-time high right up here, and it was Tuesday, April 22nd when we hit that all-time high. Since that all-time high, we've had this pullback down into here, and so far that's like our range low from the all-time high, and it's holding still higher low support above this structure over here at 3,120. Okay, and then just now identifying some zones in the market. Right over here, kind of takes 2 bars to identify some structure. And if you get in the habit of stretching into the future, then maybe you can catch the move coming in. Right there when it came in, to me, it looks like a double top where it came in one time, back down, came in a second time, M pattern, and then they pushed it back down. And if I continue with that, I can see again, it came in a third time early June. They rejected it back down. We came in a fourth attempt in here mid-June. Again, came up, rejected it back down. Notice the days too. It's a Friday, and then over the weekend, like today, we have a Friday. And look at Friday. If you were long on the weekend on gold, and over the weekend, see how they can bring it down on you. Okay, so that's why we always say on Friday afternoon, make sure if you're going to hold trades over the weekend, you are managing your risk, because something like this can happen and you're in a long and then they bring it down on you. Notice a lot of these other times where they go up and down are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So those are what we call midweek reversals in the market. This all-time high too was a Monday, and then they brought it down Tuesday. That was a little earlier in the week, but just knowing when things like this happen. Here's another one. Friday, again, weekend, Monday bringing it down. When we come in again here, here's another one. Tuesday at the highs, and then Wednesday starts this weekly trend coming down. Okay. Again, we come in here. We were trading in this last week, Thursday. We kind of had this doji candle on Friday to end, and opening Monday over the weekend, we're coming back down. Okay. So we got to see where we're going to find some support, or is this going to turn into another bearish week on gold? And remember what I was telling you, there was some news coming out of Switzerland with Donald Trump there too. So that's very important regarding gold. Okay. Placing tariffs on gold for 1 kilo bullion bars. And Switzerland is the world, basically the global reserve for gold. So that's significant news. So we got to continue to pay attention to that. What you can do with this red box, ladies and gentlemen, is continue stretching it into the future. Okay. And I get this question a lot. How far? It doesn't matter. Go as far as you want. Okay. Because it's a block in the market. So if it comes back in here, it might go back down. If we close above it, we've closed above it here, here, and here, but no real momentum following that. The next day they just brought it down. So we need to see maybe another bar close strong above there. Maybe we can start grabbing a wick here, building off of this, and then we could maybe start to fill that all-time high wick and see gold maybe go a little new all-time high. But right now, the sellers are there and they're pushing it down. Okay. Now that we found a resistance block in the market, can we find a supporting block? This is one of the blocks that I was following for quite some time, and I'm still following this block in the market. This was what created that bullish flag where we had this 3-day push, where the second bar right here is a significant bar because it closed above that structure. So there's, if we get that point of control, you can see that that pullback from the all-time high came right into that point of control, and the buyers were there protecting that position and took it back up. This was a nice little bull flag that continued the momentum, which took us to the all-time high. So that's why I'm paying attention to this block, because that's the flag that took us to the all-time high. So I'm just continuing doing, stretching it into the future. Then I can see from the first top, or from the all-time high where it came in, found some support in that green box and went up for that second top. Then it came back down. Sellers were actually strong. They actually closed it bearish below that block. That's when I flipped that block red, and I saw next day open ignited red, came all the way down to that point of control. Buyers were there and brought it right back up. Now you've got some barcoding where it's bearish, it's bullish, it's coming back down bearish, it's going back up bullish, but notice higher low, ignited bullish bar, higher low and higher low. So that's telling me the depth of market is still strong, and it's making higher lows, so it is getting stronger and providing that support. Once we got back into that zone, we started consolidating inside here. With this green zone into the future, you can see we have not transacted back into this green zone. Okay, it's still there. It's in the market. we just got to acknowledge it. So I stretch it into the future. And then off of this green zone, now if we start to zoom in, I can see these two equal lows on these daily candles right over here. So right here, when we push down, you can see we did not transact in the green box. They pushed it up with a higher low. Again, when we came all the way right back down, right in there again, literally right near that yellow line. And the buyers were there, did not allow it to come back in that green block and pushed it back up. I can see again, we came back down right here. There's body, a body, and a body, and a body. So you can see that the volume is holding up as well, right over here, 3273, 3275. So these yellow lines are daily points of interest. Before we come down into the red block, we've got a retest right here. We'll see if that holds. If it can't hold, we're probably going to fill these wicks and test this yellow line, and we'll see, will they protect it there again? If it's coming down with more significant selling volume, we're probably going to break this and then drive into this green box. I would be looking at 50% of the green box if it comes in there. Always target 50% of a zone and see the reaction when it gets in there. Okay, we do have support being built above us right now. Here's a nice big bullish candle which opened the new month, Friday, August 1st, and that was a critical day news-wise. That was NFP Friday. The job numbers were horrible in the United States, and that's what saw gold have that big bullish move. So let's identify maybe 50% of that candle, but I'm also looking at a body. There's 50% of that bearish body. I got that wick right there. You know, I'm starting to cut through here. So this area, 3,326.25, could be a significant point of control. And you can see today's bearish volume is coming down. So it's starting to fill those wicks that were making the higher lows last week, higher lows and higher lows. We're filling them. The last thing that's going to hold is this wick right here, which was Monday, August the 4th, last week. So this is our weekly low last week, right there. We are not too far off of it. We're only 50 pips away from it. We're trading at 3,350 right now. That's at 3,345. So we could definitely continue to fill these wicks and see, will they make an equal bottom right there, holding the market up? Will it break for a new lower low? Will the buyers bring it right back up? Where's today's daily candle going to close? These are all questions I have, but I won't know until I'll know where the daily candle closes at the end of the day, but this daily candle still has 9.5 hours to go. So we could possibly break this and come all the way down to trade down in here. We might find some support and come right back up. So what we got to continue to do is figure out how we were moving last week. We found some resistance. You can see about 50% of this red zone. Okay, so if I was just looking at half of the red zone, I would say it's right around there. If we don't want to guess, what you can do is grab your Fibonacci tool, measure it from the entire red zone, and you can see there's exactly 50%. Okay, so what I can do is I can leave that right at 50%. I do have then my bearish point of control on the Fibonacci tool. So right there, again, we can see, we can make that a bearish block. And I just want to show you how we traded into it on Thursday of last week. And what was the results? Got rejected out of there, closed strong. We came back in there on Friday last week, made that higher high, and then it pushed it back down. We closed with a little bit of bullish volume. And then today it came in there and they've already rejected it out, and we have a big bearish candle coming down. Okay, so if you want to kind of stretch that into the future, you can see that it's like a lower high block from over here. So it came in there and they're pushing it right back down. Okay, are we going to come all the way back in here and retest this? Maybe it might be a double top in the near future, but right now we got to acknowledge all of this selling pressure coming in on gold. So is there some levels that it's been breaking? Okay, so let's follow the volume. Where did we close? Where did we open? Okay, so we do have a point of interest right around here. You know, we can even lower the red box right down to that yellow line if you like, right there. And that's where we closed on Friday. That's where we opened. So no gaps in the market that I can see. right around just under 3,400, 33.97 is where they opened it up. It was initially bullish today. We opened up, there's coming up bullish. So there's our high of the day. I can make a purple line. Okay, 34.05 is our high of the day. It's lower than last Friday, so it is technically a lower high, pushing down. We came back to the opening price, and look at how strong the sellers are. So the bearish volume came down. We've been filling. We filled Friday's entire wick. We even broke it, so there's the low break. So that's a point of interest. That was last Friday's low, 3375. We broke it, and you can see the sellers continuing to push it down. This level right here, where there was a body and a body, and a body over here, that's a critical point of interest on the daily, and sellers continue to break it down. They took out Thursday's low. They've already taken out Wednesday's low and make an attempt to take out Tuesday's low. And then there was the low of Monday to start our whole weekly low. So it might even break. If we do find a wick anywhere in here and it comes back up, it will be technically a higher low from last Tuesday and last Monday. But if we do come up, remember, there's this big bearish volume candle coming down. So if we do buy up in here, we got to know that we're counter trading because this selling pressure is coming down. So maybe we got to know if we do trade up where our resistance is. So I would acknowledge this wick right here on Wednesday. It's like kind of the midweek. That was the low of the midweek last week. So if we come back up where we are trading right now at 3350, if we come up to 3358, right up to there, that yellow line could be resistance and continue to push down. If we can push above 3358 and push it all the way back up, then our next resistance is this yellow line, 3368. Again, our next resistance there. Then we're trading back in the big red block. So buyers have a lot of work to do. This is a big selling candle. You can see it's pretty much had some staircases going up last week, and one elevator coming down is engulfing pretty much all of last week's volume. Okay. So we'll see now, like if it comes down into there, that could be an opportunity where we got to figure out where's that bullish point of control of that big NFP candle. Okay. So what I do is I go from the opening to the closing price. There's 50% exactly right where I placed the line. So that was a good location I placed it. Now I just want to get my bullish point of control zone. Again, a little bit above, a little bit below on that, on the Fibonacci tool, and stretch it into the future and get rid of this. And now I can see if we do come down into there, you know, that's where we could find maybe our bigger buyers in here pending and maybe take it back up. But again, as we're coming back up, remember, this could be resistance, that could be resistance, that's resistance. It could come up and then they push it back down. Okay, then if it comes back down, we're coming back down into that green block. Might be a double bottom. Okay, so that's why we got to stretch this into the future and keep an eye on that. There's no guarantee that this block is going to hold bullish, but we have to assume that that point of control is there bullish. If the sellers cut right through there, maybe they close it below there today and it's very bearish, then we flip that box red because we might be trading back into it tomorrow and it might be a red block. And then sellers are there and then we continue seeing selling pressure in gold this week. Okay, so it's going to be significant what type of reaction we get in here. Okay, so we either have to let it patiently come in there or we can start attempting buying some support levels. But again, you're going against that big bearish candle. Okay, so now let's kind of look at the overall structure of gold on the daily. Okay, that we had that all-time high break, came back down, came back up, lower high, pushed down, broke for that lower low, came back up, came in here again. All of this is again a lower high, pushing back down, but then we were building higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Tried one more attempt up there, failed miserably, and had a significant weekly sell-off, which came down, but we found some good support coming down in here. Again, following NFP's strong bullish move, leading into there, into that block, lower high, and again, selling pressure coming down. Okay, so we'll find out. It's still in an uptrend, but we have a big bearish candle coming down, and that's to start the weekly move. Okay, so that's coming down. Let's go into the 4 hours. Take a look. Here's our 4-hour candles. There's the big NFP 4-hour candle. Since then, we were making higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hours. Now you got two kind of tweezer top highs on the 4 hours. Like you kind of got these equal highs up here. That was Friday and Sunday night. Big bearish engulfing 4-hour candle, close below structure. So even if I was a 4-hour trader, I would be looking at that point of control right there, 50% of that 4-hour candle. Because if we do come in there, could be more sellers and continue pushing it down. We had this inside spin top candle. And again, when we just opened up, this is now representing London. This is 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Big bearish 4-hour candle. It already came up and we're still below 4-hour candle. So if you're looking for like a bearish fair value gap, what I do is I get my Fibonacci tool from the open to the close of the candle. I get that bear zone, but you could also do it like this really quickly. You could see that last low wick and this high wick. There's a little bit of imbalance in the middle right there. Okay. So that's representing that 4-hour gap. Fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. From that last low that found support, came back up, and then you see the big bearish candle cut right through, closed near the low. It's already opened up bullish and came back up right there. You can see its resistance and push down. So there's still this part of this 4-hour candle that still has not been transacted. So it's pending in the market. Will we come back up here again and retest this area? Possibly, but it's pushing down like a shooting star, might continue to go down. So that's a 4-hour bearish block in the market. And you can see it's the point of control of that candle. Open, close, that's about 50% of it there. So right now, that 4-hour candle is pushing to break right there. That's our next daily point of interest, yellow line, that 3345. If that can't hold, we're coming down maybe to the top of the green box. 333435. There's 50% of that green box right in there, and that's exactly 50% of NFP's volume. Okay, so you can see these 4-hour candles are coming down rather bearish. But if you were in that buy too, you got to understand like that could have been a little counter buy, and you still got to respect the downtrend coming down. So on the hourly, look at the hourly. The hourly is pushing down. Lower lows, pullback, lower high, elevator coming down, new lower low, coming back up, lower high, an elevator coming down. We opened bullish that last hour, came in there, they rejected it, and now we're continuing bearish, coming back down. So now we're seeing like this hourly downtrend. You can draw a parallel channel on the hourly if you like. You can grab your parallel channel tool right here, kind of plot it, where you can see it's pretty steep coming down. And you can kind of open it up like that. And you can see when we came in there, pushed all the way down. This was a green block. It was holding. And then that bearish candle that closed below made it a red block now. So we've already retested it, and continue pushing down. This could be a 3-bar play where it's bearish. There's that bullish inside inverted candle bar. And we're opening bearish and continue to break for a new low. So we'll continue to see how far down our hourly candles can go. Are we going to find support here at this yellow daily point of interest, 3345, or more so in the green box? Again, the green zone is stronger than just this yellow line. Okay, this is a zone for a reason. This zone, if you remember, is representing 50%, that point of control of NFP Friday's volume that has not been transacted yet. So maybe it needs to come in here, transact, consolidate, and then maybe reverse out of there. Okay, so that's what we'll be watching today. Going down on the 5 minutes, this is what we can see on the 5 minutes. So 5 minutes are clearly in a downtrend. You can see that they're moving down. That low right there made a lower low, came back up, kind of holding at the high of the day, purple line up there. Continue push down, new lower low, pull back, lower high, new lower low, pull back into there, lower high, new lower lows, pull back in there, lower high, and we got a new lower low. Okay, so but we're getting closer to, it's trying to break out of this channel. We're getting closer and closer. So it still needs to build a little bit. We still have resistance right here on the 5 minutes. Okay, so buyers got to start to prove to close above these zones, maybe start a little bit of a breakout. These 5 minute candles are getting a little bit oversold, not deep down below 30, but a little bit down there. So still room for it to come down. So we'll watch this, guys. I'd like to see maybe some bottoms in the markets. You know, like this is just one bottom, could come back up. I'd like to see maybe a second bottom, a higher low building, because it could just come back down here, take out those wicks, and again, it's a new lower low, and we're continuing to push down, okay? Our Monday SST buy at 50. Yep, so it's right around here, okay? So we can see that there's a bar that came down, back up, came down, back up, came down, back up. So you see those wicks and those bodies right there? That's where I would just make a small little green box on the 5 minutes. Just stretch it across, and let's see if we can build a little bit of support off of this. Okay, we've got a nice big bullish engulfing candle coming right back up. Will it close maybe relatively above like 50% right there? That bearish candle, will that be the resistance, and they'll bring it back down for maybe a double bottom? Okay, so that's what we're watching right now. We can add our SST daily bar indicator beside us. You can see it's a big bearish candle. Holy wow, it's like off my screen here. You can see the opening price. You can see that high of the day we made. You can see all the selling pressure. And so this right here, this blue candle is representing the wick on the daily candle. So that's technically the first bottom. It's at that psychological level, 3,350. So we'll maybe see a pullback coming in. Maybe we'll drive, maybe make the neckline close to this yellow line, that 3358, the trend line. So this is just the first leg. You can see it came down, kind of pivoted, made a bottom, and it's coming right back up. So we got to figure out where it's going to make its neckline. Maybe like let's say here, will it pull back down to this red line? Will it pull back into 50% of that bullish candle? Will it be technically like a double bottom there? Will it grab liquidity? Will it continue to build? And then the second leg is maybe the more powerful leg. And then maybe we can look for a possible reversal. But if we are buying, remember we're counter trading against this big bearish candle. So you got to have counter trading rules when you do trade like that. Otherwise, we could continue to sell like right around here, maybe close to this yellow line. If it comes all the way back down there, it could be a lower high, and we could sell it back down. Okay, but let's see here. Okay, so we'll see the pullback at 3,350 here. Thanks, guys. 250 viewers on YouTube. We do appreciate you guys. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, if you guys do have some time, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications so that you can join us on a daily basis here this week. And hopefully we can learn and we can earn together. This is our live channel over here. So we got 82,171 subscribers. So if we can get this up to 200 today, 82,200, 30 more subscribers, that would be awesome. We're on our road to 100,000 with the help of you guys. Is anybody in a trade right now? Sorry, guys. I was going to leave this side by side with the DXY. Look at how strong DXY is right now. Okay. So these are those correlations. What I'm talking about, like you can see DXY is very, very strong and moving parabolic to the upside, and gold is, you can see it's a little bit bullish. So they're not always correlated, these things. Okay. I'm going to wait for maybe a pullback on gold. Like some of you guys maybe got in here at 3,350, and it's moving up. It moved up about 50 pips up there. So I want to see I'm just looking to see where the neckline is. Will there be a resistance right here where there was like a resistance, or will it be a little higher up here at 3358? Maybe I'm waiting for that leg to pull back down. I could be buying the pullback. Okay, so we got some news coming out here. Poll. U.S. 2-year Treasury yield to hold steady at 3.75 in 3 months, fall to 3.50 in a year versus the 3.8 and 3.5 in July. These are just polls coming out of the U.S. here. U.S. 10-year Treasury yield to rise to 4.3% in 3 months and in a year versus the 4.4 and 4.3 in July poll. Okay. Okay, so this could be where we have our neckline. It came up. You can see that there's like a body there, a wick there, and another wick. And we just opened now ignited bearish, pushing back down. So first thing is, that was a big bullish engulfing 5-minute candle. Can we identify where half of that is? I would say it's like right around there. So now the sellers are coming in to maybe that point of control of that bullish candle. So we'll see, in fact, if it can hold good support there with higher low. If it can't hold here, the sellers will probably break that and come back down to this green zone. And that's where we'll see if there's, in fact, a double bottom, or will they break that, right? So you see now how it comes up, guys. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes if you're counter trading, you got to learn some counter trading rules. So now it's coming back down. Now let's see if there's actual physical double bottom, higher low, if they grab some liquidity below here, or is it just going to continue selling through here? Okay, so it came down there, kind of broke exactly 50%, but again, a little bit above, a little bit below. Remember, there's a zone in there. I didn't draw the zone. I just drew the line right at 50%. So it came in there. Good response by the buyers. They're there. They kind of absorbed it back up, but you still have this big bearish engulfing candle coming down. So the buyers need to continue to ask up here, maybe flip this candle. There's no wick on it, so it could flip and then start to backfill this wick and maybe go for a new higher high. However, we got to see exactly too where this body will close in the next 3 minutes. So far, there's kind of this resistance on the 5 minutes right now in the market here. Okay, you can see how the pattern is developing now. So we had that leg come down. We came back up. There's the resistance coming back down. Again, will it be a double bottom? So far, it looks like it's a higher low. Will it come all the way back up? Maybe push, close above there, and then retest this. It's green, and then we're breaking that trend line. Then we might get back up to 3358, maybe break out a little further to 3360 up there. However, sellers are still here. They're still present. Okay, and this is the big daily bearish candle that could continue to come down to the lowest point of the day and continue dropping. And then we see if 3345 will hold up as a daily point of interest. Okay, this is just a little 5-minute supporting level that has just been built at 3350. Nice psychological level too. Great for a nice little bounce scalp buy, but we got to see ultimately if it will continue to hold up. But we do have a bigger daily point of interest at this yield line, 50 pips below there at 3345. And you can see that DXY is very, very strong. Okay, it's very overbought too. Look at it. RSI on DXY is trading at 85. Okay, and it's still going up. So remember, it doesn't need to come down. It's in an area of strength, very strong. Okay. Amazing, guys. Thank you. 270 viewers on YouTube, guys. We do appreciate it. Every single one of you guys that hit the like button, thank you. You do help support the channel. You do help the growth of the channel. You do keep us here at SST excited to continue to come on here and do this. Thank you guys. You guys doing that will get us to 300 viewers, maybe 350. Hopefully one day we can have 1,000 viewers on this channel, all learning together. See, look at that big bearish engulfing candle coming down. Okay, it's closing in 40 seconds. You can see it's got that big ignited head continuing to push down. Where will it close? Will it close below the point of control and then drop even further down? Or are we going to build off of this? Good morning, Dale. Welcome. Samuel, welcome. Hot oil on trigger 64. Nice. Okay, that's a big bearish candle coming down. Okay, so this is going to tell us if we're going to have like a double bottom support here. Look at this candle coming down. Here's the close. Okay, so it closed right near the low, very small wick. So if it retests, probably 50% of that bearish candle, right around there. Opened real strong and bullish, coming back up. So let's see if the sellers now absorb these buyers and push it down a little low. This could be a little higher low double bottom here. Okay, so let's see if it can come back up, maybe close somewhere around here. So this is what I call a higher low double bottom, where the one bottom is the green zone, came back up, there's our neckline. We came back very bearish, but look at the buyers have trading right back up. So that's that higher low double bottom. It didn't come back down to the green box, didn't break, they're holding it. So it could come back again above here, close. We could flip this and then get that strong breakout coming right up there. Ultimately, it's going to be important where this bullish candle eventually closes. So that's the first 1 minute. That's a very strong 1 minute candle. If you go to the 1 minutes, you can see how strong that 1 minute bar is. Okay. If you want to wait for this candle to close, okay, this will close in the next 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and then it will open 8 a.m. Okay, I know it's a really nice bullish candle. If you want to jump in, that's fine. But I'm just saying, look at the time. We're opening up at 8 a.m. So a new hourly candle is going to open up. Again, take a look at your hourly analysis. You can see that the hourly is trending down. Bearish, came back up, lower highs, bearish, came back down, came back up, lower high. We closed the previous hour with a little bit of bullish body. This hour, 7 a.m. when we started the call, broke down, but it's still got this bearish volume in it. So it could close strong on the 5 minutes, but we still have this hanging man hourly candle that maybe we can flip going into 8 a.m. and maybe possibly COMEX. Okay, so I'm just watching for the close of this candle because it's going to close. It looks nice, beautiful, kind of double bottom with a higher low, but let's see if it can close above there, and then we're moving into 8 a.m. because 8 a.m. could just come down bearish again, and then we see if they pick up a higher low. If this candle can maybe close strong, maybe we'll carry that momentum into 8 a.m. and it will be a bullish breakout up here. Okay, so we'll just continue to watch. Well, I'm going to continue to watch this going into the close. Some of you guys might already be in a trade. That's fine. Again, I'm just watching this. Nice. If you guys are in the Discord, buy at 3,350. Okay, you're back up maybe 50, 55 pips up here, but let's see if we can get some nice volume closing above here, and we can maybe build off of this, and we can break this hourly channel coming down, maybe get a little bit of a push to 3,365 up here. Okay, and US dollar has some zones as well over here. There was resistance. If it pulls back down into here, it could be pulling back into support. $90 more seconds to go into the close, and we'll be going into 8 a.m. Check your spreads too, in case you're going to maybe look for a trade. I got spreads. They're jumping like crazy from 0.5, half a pip to 1.2, fluctuating right now. Okay, so let's see where this bar will close. If this bullish bar closes above this red zone, I'm going to quickly flip this red zone green because it could be a small pullback and continue to drive. If it closes near the high, it could open bullish ignited and just fill and continue to go. Okay, so it's important to keep an eye. Have rules too. If you're waiting for a pullback, you might be waiting for a pullback maybe into 50% of this bullish volume wherever it closes. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. And also keep it in mind that we're trending down. It could come down with a big bearish candle coming down at 8 a.m. So let's just see where the bar closes. First things first. Those are those tweezer top highs where it made those equal highs right there. So let's see if it can just quickly make a new higher high at the close. There's the close. Okay, so here's the pullback. I'm going red to green. Look for a small wick. Okay, got the small wick. If it breaks, it just has a little wick to break and fill that one, and it could easily maybe get up to that red zone. So let's see. It's a bearish ignited candle coming down. Okay, it's still holding that green zone so far. Let's see if it can flip right there. Okay, so it flipped. I'm going to test out a buy on the retest. So I'm going to see if we can buy up, and then if it can get to that trend line and maybe break a little bit up to the mid red box up there. Okay, so it's a short pullback. Just testing the green box, but I see that there's shorter wicks above us. So not much wicks to fill behind. So I'm sure it could maybe fill that 5 pips and then start to trade up to 10 pips into 50% of that candle. Maybe we could break our way to 25 pips up there to the red zone, to that daily line. Okay, so quick little retest, short wick, filling. If it does need to pull back, I'm going to place my stop loss below that big bullish body, just to give it room to breathe. Okay, and then again, where's about 50% of that candle? Maybe like right around there. So what I'll do is I'll bring my green box a little lower down to rate about 50% of it. So I'm in a buy on gold. The body closed above, came down briefly, got a retest, came up, but then came back down. So it's kind of like consolidating right around here. It's a spin top candle. So I'm going to just see if it will continue to build a little bit in here, maybe flag, maybe continue to build out of here. But it could definitely come all the way back down and pull back down into here. But let's see what happens here. It's just the first couple minutes of 8 a.m. Like it's a double bottom with a higher low, closed above the resistance, and we got a retest. So it's pretty basic pattern recognition, but let's see if we get some follow through with buyers asking to trade above here. Because we're going against a strong DXY as well. Okay, so we got a minute 45 left on this candle. It's a small spin top. So it is coiling up. You got some buyers asking to trade up here. You got some sellers down here. Okay, we're right back where this body opened. So as long as we can keep volume above this green zone, maybe we got to continue to consolidate and build just to see if we can break out from this hourly trend line and maybe get up to 33.58, test that red zone and that daily point of interest yellow line above us, which is about 30 pips away from here, 30, 40 pips away. Okay, and 60 more seconds to go into the close. Okay, and let's see who has momentum going into the close. Pay attention to the last 30 seconds. Okay, and 50% of that bearish candle is right there. 3356.50, right where my dotted line is, right at that trend line basically. So we'll see if we can kind of maybe get ourselves up there and see if we can break this resistance behind us and just go a little further to that 3358. Okay, here's the close. So we got a little bit of bullish volume closing near the high. Open bearish ignited. So here's the pullback, quick pullback. Let's see if we can grab that higher low wick or if it needs to come back down into the green box. We kind of have the 9 EMA kind of supporting us now, but it's again, we're counter trading, so we got to see if we can build some higher lows. If we come back in the green zone, can we pick up a nice wick right here, right where my cursor is, right around 50%, a little deeper into that depth of market there. So we got a big bearish candle coming down. Let's see now if we get any support in our green zone, which was resistance prior, but with that body closing above, now we're seeing if the green zone can flip support, which it just did, came in there. We got a good wick. That's perfect. That's a good wick. So there is support down there. We do have technical support down there right now. So all we got to do is kind of flip that candle again to a hammer, and we don't have much of a wick to fill behind. We could maybe break the trend line and grab a few more pips up here. But let's see if we can flip this candle. Okay, remember it's still got that black head on it, so it's still bearish. Let's see if we can flip into a bullish pin bar and then ultimately a hammer, and maybe if we can drive out of here. So you see that first retest deeper into that green zone, we got that nice wick. So the buyers are there supporting, okay, but we gotta continue to ask to trade up here so we can flip this bar and continue to drive. And we're doing all of this with a strong US DXY over here. So showing that this zone is showing a lot of support. Good, we flipped the candle now. So let's see if we can kind of just fill that wick and create a new higher high and continue to move. And I really want to see if we can break this hourly trend line right here. Okay, so we got a good retest in there. We've got our hammer candle that just broke for a new high. Okay, so we don't have a technical tweezer top high. We got a new higher high, which is good because we have to continue to make higher highs and higher lows in order to continue to go up. So that's one piece of the puzzle. Now we're attempting the trend line and 50% of this bearish candle right there. So I know nobody wants to see this, but I got to place a line right there at that 50% of that bearish candle because I want to see if we can close above it. If we can make this resistance into a new support when we break that trend line, then we could maybe easily fill back up to 3358 and grab ourselves maybe 25, 30 pips up there, and then maybe start to reduce some risk in the trade. Okay, so for those of you that are learning about retest, there's a perfect example of retest. That was a red zone. The bar right there at 755 closed above. That's when I flipped it green. You see we came in at 8 and we came a little deeper into 50% at 805, and we got buyers supporting that move. Okay, so I told you, you'll learn something new on YouTube. Some of you guys already know all about retests. Some of you guys are learning. But we're also counter trading. Okay, so that's also, we got to understand, we're going against this bearish leg coming down. Okay, but we're seeing if it will build with this second bottom. Maybe just get it up to here, and then we can see what happens up there. So we're kind of developing the wick on the daily candle right now. And we're 12 minutes away from COMEX market open. So that's going to provide some volatility as well. Okay, we have 1 more minute to go into the close of this candle. Okay, and you see where we're struggling. 50% of that bearish candle, guys. Like if I grab my Fibonacci tool, that big red candle, like bearish candle that came down, there's 50%. So we're just trying to get above it, close above it, so maybe we can regain point of control. Good push by the buyers, great retest. We're trading near the high of the candle. We're breaking that hourly resistance. Okay, so it's a good push up here. If we can close near the high, maybe we can get an ignited bar and continue to break out. But there's going to be possible retests always coming down when we're countering. Okay, so what I want to see is if we can close above this red line, and quickly if the red line can turn to support, if it can grab a wick real quick. Here's the close. 2, 1, close. Okay, close right near the high. We got a bearish candle coming down. So right there at that red line, we got our wick retest. Perfect. Okay, now let's see if we can just flip this candle. There's very, very low wicks to flip, and we could continue to drive right into that red box naturally. Just go right in there. See now how it's retesting the red line, which was resistance right there. We closed above it. So now it's acting as just a shallow pullback. Momentarily support did not hold. So now it's got to come a little deeper. Are we still holding the point of interest from where the previous body closed to where this one opened right there? It is in fact a higher low. So can we continue to hold this uptrend? Or is this big bearish candle going to spoil the party and come all the way right back down? Okay, so that's what we got to pay attention to. So far, still a higher low, holding at the point of interest right here. And we're at that hourly trend line. Okay, so just want to see if we can build just a little bit higher up here. Yep, good wick. Okay, still holding. Let's flip this body now. Continue to ask above 3,357. Maybe ask above here, and we could easily maybe just squeeze our way right up to about that red box and grab maybe 30 pips from entry. And then ultimately, that's where if you want to reduce risk, if it gets up there. So far, we got this bearish candle coming down. Man, okay, so coming back into the green zone. Ooh, nasty candle. Okay, could be taking out all the liquidity down there. Could be taking out stop losses from all the buyers. Could be stopping them out right now if you had a tight stop loss. Again, I gave it some room to breathe. My stop is down in here. So got to see if this will hold. It broke. So we lost our structure. Where we were building that higher low, we just lost it all completely with this huge bearish candle coming down. It's nasty, but it's coming deeper into that depth of market there. So we got to see if we will build here. It's not easy to trade against the trend. It's not easy. And this could be a move prior to COMEX. You know, they could be coming down there, hitting some pending orders prior to COMEX market opening up. Or it could just be like a short-lived pullback and maybe continuing to push down. So that's why I have a stop loss. I have a stop loss in place for that specific reason. If it wants to continue to drive down, I don't want to be continuing holding a trade when it's trending down. So I'm giving it more than enough room to breathe. I'm giving it this green box to continue to come in here, pick up this depth of market. It is currently in drawdown right now. I was in profit, but again, not what I was looking for. I was looking more for target up here and a little bit higher. So things like this happen, but DXY is very, very strong. US, like DXY is very strong. So, you know, correlation wise, when you got a strong DXY, you'll maybe have a bearish move on gold. But let's see if we can continue to build with this going into COMEX. And unfortunately, guys, if it closes below here, This green box, I just go with my rules, got to go red, and then it will represent sellers in there. So here's the close in 12 seconds. And then if I'm still in this trade, then we got 5 more minutes to go into COMEX. And then that's when the volatility will increase. Okay, so we did close in the green box, opening with a bullish ignited candle. But even when it comes up, it's got a lot of resistance now that it has to go through. That was a big bearish engulfing candle. So like 50% of it is kind of where I entered right here. So buyers got a lot of work to do. I think sellers might bring it back down, maybe take the liquidity down in here. So if you guys bought in here at 3350, you guys are in a good position. But I bought like on the double top retest up here. But I could open my stop loss just a little more, maybe to be below this green block. Again, I'll just watch it. I'll adjust this if I choose to in just a moment. I just want to see this bullish candle here. Strong US dollar, okay? So remember that candle open bullish, came up, got rejected, coming back down. So if it takes out that low, it's going to start to trade in here. And I'll possibly get stopped out right prior to COMEX. And I can trade after COMEX, but hopefully maybe builds going into COMEX. I don't know. We'll see. Still giving it that room to breathe. We still are trading in the green zone. So the buyers are still there. We haven't lost that zone yet. Can we close again above 50% of this? That's where I entered previous. Can we get back, reclaim that area? Maybe we break bullish going into COMEX. Welcome, Sergio. Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for joining us. Okay, and 2 more minutes to go into COMEX. COMEX, again, for those that don't know, is a short form for Commodities Exchange. It opens at 8:20 a.m. Eastern and closes at 1:30 p.m. Eastern daily, Monday to Friday. It's the exchange for metals, gold, silver, platinum, copper. It's a specific exchange. Just like Wall Street opens up at 9:30 every day, Commodities Exchange. And so just a heads up, there's going to be a lot of volume that comes in. So just be prepared, okay? That's why just don't over leverage, don't over risk when you're trading, because we can't help what happens when that market opens up. It could open and just be bearish and just drop, or it could open bullish and break through here into profit, okay? But regardless, we got to watch where this candle closes if we're still in the trade. So the green zone is technically still holding up, has not broken. It's been transacted, but not closed below as of yet. Okay, so we have 55 seconds to go on this bar. I'd like for it to close strong near the high up here. But again, just came up there. They rejected it back down. Still building this bullish body. Doing this all while we got a strong DXY. $30 more seconds to go. Who's going to close? And who will have the momentum going into COMEX? We still have volume below that hourly parallel channel. We kind of closed above it, but then that big bearish candle came down. So we were trying to work our way back up, but we're still below it. Okay, now we're losing a lot of our bullish volume going into the close. So that's telling me sellers are in control right now. And this momentum could continue into COMEX market open. Okay, so I just got to watch my stop loss down in here. There's the bearish ignited open. Okay, quick wick to flip it. So let's see if buyers can continue to transact in this green zone and bring it back up. However, it could be lower high and continue coming down. So I'm going to open up my stop loss. Since I'm just right below that green box, I'm going to just put it right below the green box. Okay, I was below that bullish candle, but I'm just going to give it a few more pips just in case this block is building. Okay, with this exchange open. I'm still in the buy. I'm in drawdown. I just opened up my stop loss below these 4 wicks, below the green box. Okay, so COMEX opened bearish, coming down. Okay, so good grab down there. Came down, technically higher low, still holding above this bullish engulfing candle that opened. It came a little deeper down in there. We pushed back up. So we're transacting back in this block. You got buyers and sellers in here. But for buyers, I'd like to close above the block. If you're selling the market, you would want it to close below the block. So got to see where it closes. We're not trending. We're in a range right now. So we're stuck in this range where you have both buyers and sellers now. Could be accumulating near the lowest point of the day. And also just checking any 8:30 news, just to double check. We don't have much today. Okay. Okay, so we flipped the candle. Nice bullish pin bar turned into a hammer. Still trading in the green zone with the volume currently. Okay, a nice close above here would help us as buyers, but I know sellers want it to close below here. That's welcome to the world of trading. For every buyer, there's going to be a seller, and we got to see who will regain control of this block right here. Okay, so good bullish answer coming through, but it's where the body closes. I know it's exciting watching a big bullish candle go up like that. I don't get excited until I see where the body closes, because I've seen candles go up and I see them get a wick and come right back down. Okay, so we came right back up to that red line again. Again, that's that important red line. That was that red line that was representing 50% of that bearish candle. We did close above it, but then drop right back down. Now we're coming right back up to that red line. Can we continue to close above it? I might even look to maybe buy another position on another pullback, maybe close ignited and break through here. I might even look to add another potential buy order, depending how this bar closes. Last 30 seconds, so I'm back in profit right now, but we got to figure out where we'll close. We're still below that trend line. That's still technically a lower high. It could come back down. It could barcode bearish, bullish, bearish. Here's the close. Open, bearish, ignited, coming down, retest. Can it retest the green zone again? Can we get a higher low wick? Can we flip this candle? Will it come deeper down into here? Will we be barcoding? Okay, so there's that big bearish engulfing candle coming all the way right back down, guys. That's why I don't get excited. I don't. I've seen this happen a million times. It was a nice strong candle. It pushed up, it closed, but then they opened, bearish ignited, coming right back down. This bearish candle could come close all the way back down here, and then that green zone is back to selling block. And then they're coming down, hunting for stop losses down here on all the buyers. So you see how long we can transact in zones and blocks? It can take a while for things to develop. See, we lost all momentum on that nice push up. As fast as it goes up, it can come down twice as fast. Okay, are they going to take out that low and create a new lower low and come deeper down where the double bottom is? My stop loss is right below there, guys. Just heads up, just letting you guys know. Because I don't want to continue with this bearish trend coming down and take out that double bottom block, 3,350, and then it's coming down to 3,345 down there. I'm not going to give it that extra risk. I'm giving it more than enough room to breathe in here. The buyers aren't there, they're not there. Okay, and again, if this bar closes bearish below here, I got to go green to red. Just got to watch my stop loss here. So for any of you guys that want a double bottom, that could be your double bottom, but this bearish move is coming down. Daily candle is very bearish, so it's kind of like a short-lived pullback and pushing down. So just got to watch my stop loss here, guys. I'll verbally let you guys know as soon as I get stopped out. So trading now back where we had a buying wick, a buying wick, a buying wick, and a buying wick. This is coming down right there. Okay, I got stopped out right there. So they got my liquidity, and I'm out of that move. So that's why, guys, countering is not easy to do. It's not easy to counter moves. Yeah, and 8:30 might bring in some momentum, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna guess what 8:30 is gonna do. I'm gonna wait and see where bodies close, and then ultimately maybe get off of gold, because I hate when gold trades like this. We'll take a look at Nasdaq and US 30. We don't need to waste time with this. Lisa, again, you gotta use proper risk management. I'm not sure how you wiped out an entire week worth of gains. Um, we got to learn sometime, guys, how to protect weekly gains, how much you're willing to risk. Again, if you worked for an entire week and you lost it in one day, that's telling you that that's over leveraged. We got to learn from it. Okay, so this is 8:30, guys. New 30-minute candle. We're continuing the bearish momentum. So that was just a slight little pullback. Sellers are in full control. We didn't get up to that daily point of interest. That's what I was looking for, that 3358, and continuing to push down. And then next daily position is right here, 3345. I'm not looking to just buy, pull back, like just buy because it's dropping. Still, you got to recognize it's a heavy daily candle, okay, coming down. So for any buys, I'll wait deeper down into here. This is the NFP block, this 3,325. This is where I'll wait for buys. Okay, I tested out a buy there, didn't work. If you continue to buy like here, yes, it could come right back up. And then 33350 is now a red block and then push you right back down. If you're looking to scalp, that's fine. But if you're looking for a bigger move, I would be waiting for a bigger block in here. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. I read that incorrect. My apologies. Oh, the weekly lost. Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm going to stick with gold for about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to move over and we're going to look at U.S. indices. We'll pay attention to NASDAQ and US 30, how they open up on Monday. If you guys want to continue trading gold, you guys can go ahead with it. I don't like when it trades like this. Okay, so found some good buyers at that daily point of interest, 3345, but I'm placing an alert down here at 3325 for myself for today. If it comes later into here, later on in the day, maybe 9, 10, 11, noon, I want to see if the big buyers will be in here, because this is a block from NFP that has not been transacted in. So that's what I'm looking for down in there. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for this body to close. Again, notice how, guys, an area of support with a body close below can turn to resistance. Right now, nice big bullish candle coming right back in, trading right into that resistance. Will it close above? Will you be able to flip that again? Maybe that might be an opportunity to look for a buy, but I'm not going to be staying on gold anymore. We've got other things to do. You guys can keep an eye on that. So there's the close like a hammer right in there. So you could get an impulse breakout, but again, maybe transact into 50% of that bearish candle. Maybe they'll push it back down. But could continue to build, guys. Maybe US dollar is getting a little overextended. Maybe look for two tops, maybe like a liquidity grab and then a push down. And then maybe that will start to engage that buying momentum in gold. But for now, if you guys are going to trade it, keep an eye on it. I'm going to be switching over now to NASDAQ and US 30. Okay, so I'm going to start off with an analysis on US 30. On the daily, let's see where we left off of last week. Okay, so real quick, these were previous all-time high zones. Double top all-time high. We came in, traded in it again in early July. We also traded end of July in there. So stretching across into the future, 45,155 is the high of the day, all-time high. Since then, kind of traded. I was always looking at this zone right over here where we had those equal lows coming down, back up, coming down, back up. As you move over, that big bearish bar close below, you got multiple rejections and then that push down. So if we stay consistent with this zone, you can see how it turned into support right there. And we broke it last week. We broke right below here. That was the Friday close. And then Monday last week came all the way. We've already retested it on Thursday. And we're going to see it now if we can continue to build our way back through here. Bullish. Okay, so this is what we got going on now on the daily. Consolidating, barcoding. Last Tuesday, bearish. Wednesday, bullish, like with a spin top. Volume-wise, Thursday, bearish volume. Friday, bullish volume. Look at today's daily candle on US 30, how tiny it is. It's this tiny doji. It's coiling up, coiling up. Are we going to either explode to fill this wick to the upside and continue to drive, or are sellers accumulating and going to push it back down? So it's hard to say right now. It's still building, no real volume in it. So what we got to do is we got to get some levels, some points of interest. This big bearish candle, if I'm looking at 50% of this candle, okay, let's identify where 50% is right there. Okay, so that's our high of the day basically right now. Okay, so that's our resistance. We broke through it last week, came back down. We broke through it and then it came right back down. We're touching it right now. That's our high of the day. Will they continue to bring this thing back down? Okay, if we continue to break out of here today, maybe we'll fill Thursday's wick and maybe make a new high, okay, above here. If we continue maybe to push down, okay, so let's just follow Friday's close of the volume. Was a bullish engulfing candle on Friday, engulfed Thursday's volume. We closed right here, so there's a little bit of a gap in today's over the weekend. So that's where technically we closed on Friday, right here. You can see the gap up open. Okay, so there's that little imbalance, but they've already came back and backfilled it. So they've already filled the gap. Again, where do you want to place this daily position point of interest? On Friday's close, on today's open, I'm going to place it right in the middle so that satisfies both of those. Okay. When we originally opened, it backfilled that gap and it came down. It made a low of the day already. But remember, there's no volume in today's candle. There's no real range. So this could come right back down and test this low, no problem. If it comes all the way back down, test this low and breaks, we're traveling down in here. I kind of want to look where, 50% of Friday's bullish engulfing candle was. It's right there, 44,130. That's 50%. Okay. If we do pull back in there, I want to see if the buyers will step in and hold it up, make a higher low, continue going up. If we can't hold that, then maybe it will trickle all the way back down to the opening position. Maybe we've got to watch that as an point of interest. And then if we can't hold that, then we're trading back down into the green zone. We've already cut through it on Thursday, and it came all the way right back up. So again, if it comes back in here, just kind of aim for 50% and see if it gets a higher low and builds in there. Okay, let's just continue building off of the low day. We came back up. We backfilled that kind of little imbalance. We filled it. We broke above Friday's high, last Friday's high, and we came up to the highest point of the day, right up there, and got rejected, and we came back down. Okay, so let's see if we continue to fill and get back to the highest point of the day, and maybe we'll have a bullish breakout today, or could just get rejected and come all the way right back down. Okay, we have a lack of volume right now, so you can see there's no real range right now. So let's go into the 4 hour. We're not going to see much on the 4 hour because there's no range on the daily, but we can see last week's move. So Thursday had a big sell during 10 a.m. on the 4 hour candle. We slowly made our way back up. You can see staircases going back up, staircases going back up to here. They might potentially elevator this move coming down during Wall Street. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But so far, 4 hour candles made equal bottoms right there at our yellow daily point of interest. We made a higher low. We got now equal lows at Sunday when we opened up, and today coming from our 4 hour candle from London. This is 2 a.m. London is 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. right there. Okay, made some lows, but we're not creating any new higher highs. So right now we got 4 hour volume, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, just consolidating in here, flagging in here. We could consider this maybe like a double top, coming up, back down, coming back up. Now, second top 4 hour candles coming down. Maybe Wall Street, we're going to break and start to drop. Could be that elevator coming down. If it comes down all the way down to here, double bottom your way back up, unless it continues to break and drop. Well, this is what we got going on. I can't change the volume. I wish I could, but this is what the volume is right now. And then now we can start to see on the hourly. So we pushed up Sunday night. There's the futures market open up 8 p.m. We're trading in here. Bearish leg coming back down for midnight. Then we kind of consolidated coming up pre-London. There's London. Big bearish candle come down 3 a.m. We've been slowly working our way back up 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And then right now, 8 a.m. is coming back down. Okay, so do we have some hourly resistance? Yes. At the highest point of the day, you can see that there's bodies right there. Make it red. Continue into the future. You can see those bodies again right there. Continue into the future again. So you got came up, back down, came up, back down, came up, back down. We got kind of multiple tops up here. So it's holding it down. Now we could be coming down. Here's the big neckline today on what we need to break in Wall Street in order to be bearish. You can see that lowest point of the day, purple line. Look at the hourly bodies. How right there you got support. Coming over here, you got support. We might be coming back into here and get some support, but if it breaks, we could have a big drop today. Okay, so it's coming down. The daily candle doesn't have much volume. 4 hours we saw, and now the hourly is coming down. So if we go into the 5 minutes, this is what we got going on. When the 5 minute candles come up there, consolidating, dropping down, coming back in there, going back down, came slowly all the way back in here, coming all the way back down. So what I'll be watching in Wall Street is what happens below this green zone and what happens above the highest point of the day today. Yeah, you can scalp inside here, 5 minutes. There's this right here. Resistance, turn to support, and now it's resistance again. Body close, rejected, pushing down. If we come back up on the 5 minutes, if you're looking for like a quick scalp, if it closes above there, holds this, you might be looking for a buy just to come back up to the red box. And when it gets up there, it could just come right back down. But that's the highest point of the day. If it closes above there, retest this, you could get a bullish daily candle building. Okay, so we're coming back down. Let's add our daily bar indicator. Here it is. So we opened with that gap. It came down, made the lowest point of the day right over here. Just after 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Then we came back to the opening price. We came all the way to the highest point of the day, which is kind of right in there. Okay, we hit it right over there, 2140. Also, we came back in this morning, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and pushing right back down. Okay, so this is all we have left in our daily volume bullish body. We could lose it right here and drop. And you can see if we drop, we lose this today, we could be trading all the way back down to that daily yellow line, 44,130. And then our next one is down in there, okay? So that's what we got going on for US 30 going into a Monday morning open in Wall Street. It's got this bearish leg coming back down. Adding your indicators, we're below the 9 EMA now, and we're at the 200 right now, okay? So we'll leave US 30 right over here to the left side. We'll do NASDAQ in just a moment. Okay, looking at gold again. So gold is building, guys. Came back up. It did close above here, so that double bottom is still holding, technically. It did come down, scoop the liquidity down there at that next daily position, but building its way back up. So if you guys are back in watching gold, you see it came down. There's the neckline. Broke through there right at 8:30. Grab the liquidity. That's when I got stopped out. Coming right back up. So if it breaks through here, you could get that next continuation bullish move on gold. Okay. Let's finish off NASDAQ now. And then we can take a break to go to the washroom or grab a drink. And then we'll get ready for 9 a.m. moving into Wall Street. Okay. So this is NASDAQ now. We'll start off on the daily. Okay, NASDAQ looks a little bit different than US 30. Ephraim, good morning. Welcome. Okay, so we had our previous all-time high right over there on NASDAQ back in December of 2024. And then we came right back above it, made a new all-time high in February of 2025. So if you continue with that zone, we did eventually close above it in end of June of this year. So that looks like it's a supporting area now. We got volume above us, stretch it into the future. We're nowhere near this, but if it ever comes back down to 22,000, might be a nice area to potentially look for some buys. But right now, we kind of pivoted back down in here. Okay, so I can see that there is a build of support right here. There was previous in the market. You can see when I was holding. And then again, we just traded right down in there. And what were the results? We're moving back up. So are we going to retest this green zone, 22,700, before we come in here? Possibly, but right now it's still moving up. From the all-time high, this was the new all-time high. I'm just going to place an orange line up there. Okay, so we know where's the all-time high. We're not too far off of it today. So is NASDAQ going to just break for a new all-time high today? It's only 100 points away from it. We're at 635. The all-time high is 735. So it could definitely do that today. However, if they're shutting it down, what I do is from that all-time high wick to those bodies right there is a zone. Okay, if I consider this to be a red zone and I stretch it into the future, I can see how we closed Friday right in there. We are consolidating right in there. I'm going to still assume it's a red zone until the buyers can prove to me they can push out of here, create a new high, new all-time high, maybe physically close it above there. Then I'll more than happy flip this zone green if I get closing daily volume above there. Right now, it could still be sellers and pushing this thing down. It could be one top, and this could be the second top right now forming. Okay, like the way how it came up, one top, there's the neckline, came back up, two tops, could be, that's how an M pattern develops, pushes down, right? If it comes down here, could be support, could break. We'll see later, next few days, next few weeks, how it transpires. But right now, we're trading right in this zone. This is what we got to watch for. Let's follow the daily volume. Okay. So Friday was very bullish. We closed right in there. Then we had the weekend. Where did we close? Where did we open? Right there. Okay. Close, open. It was initially bullish when we opened. Okay. So we do have a high of the day so far. Still early in the day, but we did hit a high of the day. You can see it is relatively lower than the all-time high. We're not too far away from it, but technically it's a lower high. They pushed it back down to the opening price. We came all the way down. Sellers pushed it down, right down in there. There's our lowest point of the day. Okay, so it coincides with Thursday's high, which was resistance. We closed above with it on Friday. We've already retested that resistance, now turning to support, and buyers are buying it right back up. But we still have this bearish volume still left. We could possibly, Wall Street, flip this candle to the highest point and drive just a little bit and get to the all-time high and break out maybe. However, if sellers are there holding this thing down, if we come back down to the lowest point of the day and break here and come out of this red box, then it's a big bearish candle coming down, bearish, 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 bearish. I would put a marker point of interest right here, where we closed on Thursday, where we opened on Friday, daily point of interest. If it continues to drop, maybe back down to either this point of interest. I would go a little bit deeper where there's more bodies down in here. Maybe place a marker right there, okay? And then if it continues to go down, just do your analysis. I would be looking at 50% of that bullish candle. There's another marker right there, and then you get down into that deeper green zone, okay? On the 4 hour now, if we dissect looking at the 4 hour, probably not going to see too much going on, but we do have this next new move coming up on Friday that created this next push up. You can see there's the 4 hour all-time high. Okay, came up there on what day? It was Thursday, July 31st. And since then back down, we're coming all the way right back in there. So is this going to be kind of like a second top on the 4 hour? Okay, where that was one top, came down. All of this is coming all the way right back up. There's your second top, right? All it needs is that volume just to enter the market and really push this thing down today. It could happen. However, buyers could continue to buy and ask to trade up here and build higher lows. And then, you know, a lot of sellers might be already selling the market. And then there could be a short squeeze and continue to try for a new all-time high and squeeze all those sellers that are trying to sell NASDAQ at the all-time highs. And there could be bullish news in the market and just continue squeezing them. So you have to be very careful, okay? We've got to just continue watching. Right now, there's not much 4 hour volume in the market, okay? There's a lot of indecision I can see. If we go into the 1 hour, we can see not much is going on either on the 1 hours. It's just going up, coming back down, going back up to the highest point of the day, coming back down, lowest point of the day, building again. So we're just kind of consolidating. It's going to be interesting to see how the volume moves in Wall Street. Again, just right here, we do have a good supporting area so far on the 1 hour, last few hours. So I'm just placing a white line right there, just right over here. I can see how that bullish candle closed above. We kept the volume above. It pulled back in there, still held bullish volume. We closed right there. It did drop down. That's the lowest point of the day. Maybe grab some liquidity. Next hour, 5 a.m. is bullish, ignited, continue push up. We haven't transacted back down to this white line yet. Might break during Wall Street. But I just want to see if that white line will hold protection from the lowest point of the day. Maybe they'll build a higher low there. Maybe we'll continue to drive back up today. Okay. Otherwise, we could just continue to watch the volume consolidating in this range, going up, down, coming back up, maybe go back down, and then we'll see if it bearish breaks today. Okay. That's what I'm watching. We're in a bear zone. We don't have too much buying momentum anymore. Volume is just consolidating. Anyone can take over. Maybe more sellers are in here. Okay. So on the 5 minutes, can look for 5 minute scalps. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to wait for Wall Street to market open up in the next 37 minutes. Okay, so we're going to add the daily bar indicator. We know where we opened. We made the highest point of the day right over here, just before midnight. Got rejected back down to the opening price. We dropped down to the lowest point of the day, which is right over here. We hit just after 4 a.m. Eastern, and slowly it's been coming right back up, but we still have this bearish volume. Okay, 9 EMA, we're below it. This green line, 200 EMA, we're right at it. Okay, we'll leave both of these securities side by side, NASDAQ and US 30. Do you want me to get rid of this big red box? Do we know where we're trading on NASDAQ if I get rid of this big red box? Remember, it's at that all-time high red supply location. Guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I just got to go to grab a drink and take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'll leave it on US 30 and NASDAQ. You guys can watch it going into 9905. I'm just going to take a quick little five-minute break, and I'll be right back, guys, okay? Okay, we're back. Gold is making a little bit of a move. It's still stuck in this consolidation right here. Okay, so nice little move off of that point of interest right here. Came back up, closed with the volume above, made its way right back up to. So if I was still in this trade, I probably would have done something right up there. Got back up there, coming back down. So let's see if it will continue to build a little bit in here. Finally broke through that parallel channel coming through. So if you guys are still on gold, just continue. We'll watch this, and but we're going to focus more on NASDAQ and US 30, guys. Okay, we're about 25 minutes away from Wall Street market open, so let's just pay attention and watch what they're doing leading into the Wall Street market open. Okay. I'll get rid of this red zone. Might be throwing someone off. We'll keep it like this. The purple lines, okay, that's our range for NASDAQ. So you can see we're not in a big range today. Things will definitely open up when we hit Wall Street. So let's pay attention to that. What are you guys looking at right now? Are you guys looking at gold, NASDAQ, Dow Jones? All of them? Latest stone, you're looking at Dow. Let's see what it's going to do today. Let's see what's going on in the pre-markets right now. No big earnings to think of today. In the pre-market, AMD is down negative 1.7%. Micron, big pre-market, it's up 5% right now. So Micron Technology, that's making a big move in the pre-market right now. Micron stock rises after boosting guidance. So that's pretty good. Micron Technology raises quarterly results forecast on AI-driven demand. So that's pretty good. Micron, great guidance, up 5% in the pre-market right now. Google is down 2%. Tesla's up almost 2% right now. This is all pre-market. This is on relatively low volume. So things will change when the market opens up. Wow, AMC is up 12% from their earnings. AMC, if any one of you guys are still trading that. AMC tops revenue estimates as blockbuster titles boost theater attendance. Yep. I saw some movies. I saw Smurfs. I saw, what was that one? Bad Guys Part 2. That was a good one. I go with my kids to watch these movies. Okay, so US 30 is trading back down to this yellow daily point of interest. You know, like if you're looking for maybe a quick scalp trade going into Wall Street, like Wall Street's still about 23 minutes away. This could be like a little quick little one bottom. There's the neckline, second bottom. Even if it's just kind of like a little bullish break right up to that red line, just prior to Wall Street, like just as a scalper, if you're scalping a move, you know, just to break kind of above that, get up there, could be a quick little 20 to 30 pip push, but then Wall Street can open up and just drop this thing. So just be careful too. You know, just if you are considering taking scalps, just know what you're looking for. Just know what you're looking for. If you get that nice little move, grab your 20, 30 pips, maybe go to a break even, maybe take some partials out, because we don't know what will happen when the markets open up. There's going to be a bigger range. I don't think when Wall Street market opens, the bodies of the candle are going to be this size. I think they're going to be like 3 to 4 times the size of what we're seeing right now, okay? Because you're going to get that influx of volume coming in. If you're speculating, if you're testing out maybe a buy, maybe you're testing a sell, I would recommend going small so that you can continue to hold it, wait it out, see what happens going into market open. Again, I'm not here to give anyone advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Again, some of you guys are asking about the percentage. You risk how much you guys want to percent. We say a rule of thumb, risk 1 to 0.5, 1 to up to 2% of your capital per trade. You can break that down. Some traders break down, let's say for example, myself. Let's say I was going to trade 2% of my entire capital today, of my account. I don't need to put that 2% all on one trade. Like that last trade I did with gold, I didn't go all 2% on that. I can break that down into, let's say, for example, I might take 5 trades today. I can break that 2% down with 5 trades. And that will allow me a certain amount of risk that day. Maybe it will turn out to be a good day. Maybe I make 2% in return. It's a great day. Well, if I lose that 2% and it's a bad day in the markets, I haven't blown up my account. I haven't lost my entire account. I've lost 2%. And then maybe it's time the market's telling me walk away, review your trades, figure out what's going on, and come back and learn. But some of you guys say, how much should I be trading? 1 or 2% is not a lot. Okay, if it's not a lot, then bump it up. Trade 5 or 10% more. Like I'm at the point where I'm not here to tell you guys what percentage to use. You use whatever you want. I'm going to assume we're all adults here. I'm going to assume you know percentages. Some of you guys are trading with prop firms. They have a daily drawdown percent. You got to follow that. If not, you'll probably breach your account. But again, guys, you got to figure it out. I'm not here to tell you guys. Some traders trade with 20% per day. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you're going to lose more money. Everyone trades with different capital size. Some traders are trading with their own money. Other traders are trading with prop firm money. Some of you guys are on a demo account. Some of you guys are just paper trading, practicing, so you'll figure out what works best for you. But trial and error. Anytime you're trying with a high percentage, do it on a demo account and just see how it is. You don't want to do it with a live account and lose all your money. If you're doing the 1%, 2%, try it on a demo. If it's not a lot, bump it up. Test it out, guys. That's what trading is. Trial and error. Try some new things out. Find what's comfortable for you. And then the rest is history. Okay, so gold came right back into that daily position and then right back down. So this is the range of gold right now. If you're buying, you're going up 30, 40, 50 pips. You could be doing something. If you're selling and you're making 30, 40, 50 pips coming down, you could be doing something as well. If you're buying again this leg, when it comes up there again, I know some of you guys are continuing to hold to break through this, but that's why when it's in a range, scalping mindset is the best mindset in my opinion. If I bought that leg up, I would have done something up there. If I didn't, it would have came all the way right back down here too. Same with those sellers selling it all the way back down. If they don't do anything, maybe buyers will bring it right back up. It's in this range right now. So it's trading 3358 coming down to 3350. It's in this 80 pip range right now, still consolidating. Guys, let's see if we can get 20 more subscribers. Get it to 82,200. Trump is over here 8 a.m. talking. Trump, Liberation Day in D.C. We are taking our capital back. Tariffs are making our country strong and rich. I would debate that. I don't think Trump knows what a tariff is. I think someone in his staff, he's got some smart people behind him, hopefully. Maybe they can explain to Trump how a tariff works. It is making money for the country, but U.S. consumers, citizens are paying for it. Okay, he can say how much money they're bringing in, but it's the U.S. citizens that are paying for it. We don't need to get into that because someone's going to argue with me and say, Ron, you're wrong, and no problem. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand how tariffs work the last 43 years of my life. Maybe I've been misunderstood. I'll give you a quick example here of how a tariff works. Okay. I'm here in Canada. I got Tim Hortons coffee right here. Okay. Beautiful, yummy, tasty Tim Hortons coffee. Let's just say, for example, this coffee is $2 here in Canada. Okay. And everybody around the world wants this Tim Hortons coffee that I have in my hand. And maybe you're part of the European Union and you want to buy this off of me. It's $2. You guys give me $2, I'll give you guys the coffee in Europe. Maybe there's someone in Asia that wants this Tim Hortons coffee. No problem. I'll transact with you. You're a customer. Fantastic. Let's go to Asia. You give me $2, no tariffs. I give you the coffee. You give me $2. If you're in Africa, you can give me $2. I'll give you the cup of coffee. Now, in America, for example, let's say Donald Trump says to me, Ron, that Tim Hortons coffee, I'm going to put a 50% tariff on that coffee. I'm like, okay, Donald Trump, no problem. I just want my $2 out of this. Okay. Now, when someone from America, an importer, okay, it's got to go to the port. When the coffee comes in there, right, it's $2. That's all I want. I'm here in Canada. I didn't put the tariff. It's not going to affect me. Donald Trump put 50% on it going into America. Now, how much is this coffee going to cost for someone like Lisa, who's in America? Lisa, if you want to buy this coffee off of me, it's got nothing to do with me. Your president put the 50% tariff. You got to buy this coffee now $3. It's going to cost you $3. I'm still getting my $2 regardless. You now paid an extra $1. You're paying for that tariff. Donald Trump is taking that $1, and then now he's saying at the end of the week, we just made $1. We're getting rich. America's getting rich again. But you paid for it. Okay, so there's a big, brief example, very simple example of how tariffs work. Okay, and then if you don't want my coffee from Tim Hortons in America, that's fine. If you don't want to pay that tariff, no problem. I lost you maybe as a customer, but I have other customers around the world who want my coffee tariff free. So that's how tariffs work. If someone can explain that to Mr. Trump. It's another tax, guys. It's another tax. Inflation is a hidden tax. Tariffs are another tax. They're all taxes. It's a way how they can come into your pocket and take your money. Yeah, I agree with that. Americans are going to pay to make America great again. Yes, and they can. But it's not the billionaires that are going to pay for it. It's not Donald Trump. It's going to be, unfortunately, like us. I'm a Canadian. If my Canadian government put tariffs on me, I'm going to be paying for it, right? That's how tariffs work. Last time I checked. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they changed how they work, but that's how I always assume they work. Does everyone understand that example, what I just showed? BTC right now, we're not going to watch BTC going into Wall Street, but BTC is trading at 119,600 right now. It made that big move last night. It got up to just below the all-time high, 122,200, and now we're dropping. But it could be a pullback. Maybe we'll revisit it. Right now we're watching what's going on with US 30 and NASDAQ building here. Okay, so guys, we're about 10, 12 more minutes away from Wall Street. Again, we're going to see a bigger volume. So let's see what they do. Will they come back up here, bring it down? Will it trade back into this green block, come back up? It's kind of consolidating right now. It's a Monday market. It's a Monday morning open in the markets, coming off of the weekend. We don't have any big earnings this morning. There wasn't any big news this morning, so we'll see how markets move. These are the daily candles. Okay, so remember, NASDAQ's daily candle is right here. We've got a kind of spin top on the daily candle for US 30. So it can move in. I know it sounds silly, but it can go in either direction today, obviously. But we've kind of got to wait patiently to see what they do. Gold is still trading right down here at that 33.50. Continuing, not breaking above there, continue pushing down. Could push even lower down into here. But I would be now placing an alert up here at 3358. Any volume closing above here today could change momentum and direction of gold, move it more into a bullish move. So I'm placing an alert at 3358 for today. If it revisits this area and closes above, it's kind of made some attempts up there, but if it's continuing to build off the bottom, maybe we see the US dollar rotate down a little bit, then maybe we might see some increased demand for gold up there. But we'll be watching market open, NASDAQ and US 30, and we're going to go till about 10 a.m. today. So if everyone can hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out any days this week. I'm just switching my securities now. I'm looking at my US 30 and NASDAQ, checking spreads, changing my contract sizing because I was just trading gold. So coming over here, new security, new contract sizing, new lot sizing, different volume, different security, got to adjust. Did anybody do anything over the weekend? Anything exciting? Just reading over some news, guys, just see if anything kind of will affect maybe market open news. Guys, crude oil traders, oil holds near $67 as traders look ahead to Trump and Putin meeting. So that might affect the price of crude oil over there. So if you're trading crude, keep an eye on that meeting over there. And earnings-wise, there wasn't much going on this morning. And news-wise, nothing going on today, okay? Yeah, Tony, football preseason has started. I watched the Cowboys. I know there was nobody special playing in that game, but I'm watching a little bit of the preseason. I'm going to the Bears game, Tony, in Chicago, Soldiers Field. I believe it's week 3. I'll be down there, Dallas versus Chicago. So I'll be coming into United States, spending my money in U.S. So I'll be helping U.S. stimulate the economy. Please don't hold me at the borders. Let me in. I love America. Just coming to watch football, and then I'll go back to Canada. Oh, that's a big game, Dale. Yep. Cowboys and Chiefs. I think this year's Super Bowl is either going to be Philadelphia Eagles. They're strong. They got that strong team. Buffalo Bills. We'll see if they can come. Josh Allen, if he can come in with it. And Baltimore, maybe top three. You got Bengals, Armandi, yeah? Those might be the top three teams. Philadelphia, Baltimore, Buffalo. Okay, guys, we're about 6 minutes away from market open. If we just look at slowly what US 30 was doing, slowly making its way back up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, got into that red zone near the highest point of the day. Sellers rejected it back down. We came down, kind of just trading at this daily point of interest, yellow line. But every time we come up, again, lower high, pushing down, coming back up, lower high, pushing down. So we'll see, maybe will they bleed out down to this lowest point of the day, down into this green box? Will they break it? If it breaks, we do have a daily point of interest below us. But also, if it maybe makes a higher low where there's some 5-minute support, I would look at this area right here, which was support right there. It turned to resistance right there, maybe turning back into support around 44,175. We'll see if maybe it makes a higher low down there if it comes down in there. Okay, and then 5 more minutes. And then Wall Street will be opening up. Okay, and if you're in any trades prior to Wall Street market opening, just always remember that there's going to be an increased amount of volume. Okay, so you maybe have to open up your stop loss. Again, that's why we always say, how much are you risking on the trade? If you over leverage that risk a little bit with the increased volume, you might get tapped out and it might be a larger loss. So just keep that in mind when you are trading, if you are getting a trade prior to the market open. Otherwise, wait for it to open. Have rules. Wait for the first 5-minute candle close, first 1-minute candle close, first 15-minute bar to close, and trade after. Okay, you don't have to necessarily just jump right in right when the market opens or a couple minutes right before, unless you're following a pattern. Unless you see something building, and like that double bottom on NASDAQ last week, it was pronouncing itself. And if you go with it, then yes, you can benefit from it. But otherwise, when in doubt, wait it out. That's what we've been saying from day one. So I can see that they gapped down US on my broker. They gapped it down, brought it down, took out some liquidity down there. Could possibly be bringing it back up. Just some minor resistance that we have on US 30 is kind of right here where we have, I would say, just below this 50% of this candle at 835, because it's retested it back down, came back up, back down, came back up, back down. So that's our resistance. Going into Wall Street, we'll see if we can kind of get above this and maybe we could break a little bit bullish. However, it's still pushing down. If this bar closes below this daily yellow line, it could still further have momentum to continue to drop down. Andrew, thank you for the stream. Very helpful. No problem. It's my pleasure. Thank you for joining us on a daily basis. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're pushing down with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go into market open. Okay, so we already had one big bottom over here at 3:55 going into 4 a.m. So this is London market open, that big drop on US 30. It found a bottom at 4 a.m. on that new hourly candle. That's where we came up to the highs and coming back down. So will Wall Street come all the way back down and take out that low, or will it hold a higher low and build off of this? Okay, so that's going to be important to watch. And that's kind of the lowest point of the day as well. NASDAQ, very similar. There's London's move coming down, and it kind of recovered at 10 after 4, 4:15, came back up. So we'll see, will it be like a second bottom all the way at the lowest point of the day? Will they break it? Will it close below there, and then we have a selling day, or will they grab some liquidity down there? US 30 is coming down into this green box, maybe in the next 20 seconds, and we're going to get market open. So just please, guys, use proper risk management. If you don't, doesn't really bother me at the end of the day. That's something for you. I will be using proper risk management because I don't want to lose lots of money. Okay, here we go. Here's market open. Okay, again, rules. You can wait for the first 5-minute candle to close. You can jump in if you want. That's up to you. I want to watch what they're doing here. So they came down to the lowest point of the day. Okay. Are they going to come back up? Is it going to trade through here? This is the first 30 seconds of market open. Very bearish so far. Trading in the lowest point of the day in this green block. Will they pick up some buyers and continue to come right back up? Or is it going to push down here, create a new low, possibly close below there? Will we invert this green box red? Some of you guys are already in a trade. That's fine. I understand. I know how trading works. But you see what I mean? Like, that's a big body candle. Like the range, look at the range of that's now a 35 pip candle compared to what it was trading before. Okay, NASDAQ is still in this consolidated range here. Okay, so we created a new low. Okay, so it broke below there, created that new low, lower low. Now we got to follow the volume. Okay, big wick coming right back up. Will they flip the candle back up bullish? A lot of times it turns bullish and you could go right into a buy like right now, but it could come right back down. Okay, so again, the best thing maybe to do is just wait for the body to close. I know it sucks when you see that flip and then you go into a buy, but sometimes it could bring it right back down. Again, let's just see where the volume will close. It's a great response coming out of the lowest point of the day. They broke the low, grabbed the liquidity. But again, let's see, will it be strong enough to maybe close above these highs? Will it just come up, go back down? Could it be a spin top? Could it be, like you see, already got rejected, coming back down? Gold is pushing back up. Yeah, it's holding this block right here again. So it's trading at this block. I've got an alert up here at 58. Okay, Big indecision now in US 30. 2 more minutes to go. Okay, so remember, that's a lower high, lower high, lower high, below 50% of that candle. Just so you guys see that little red zone there, just so we are aware of it. It is coming up there, pushing back down. Can we get some, maybe like an impulse break? Will we get some volume close above there? Can we build off of this? 90 seconds to go. So they swept those lows at the lowest point of the day, right at market open. So let's see if they move to the upside with this, or will it continue coming down? And NASDAQ is pushing down. So it opened bullish, came up, faked out those buyers, coming back down to the lowest point of the day possibly as well. Okay, here's the close. 1 more minute to go. Like all of this is consolidated volume right here. Like if it trades back inside here, again, we're just back in that consolidated zone. Okay, 20 seconds going close. Nice bullish candle coming all the way right back up. Will it close above there? Okay, so it kind of peaked its head up there, made a little higher high. Okay, but we're right back in that consolidated zone. Maybe it can close above here. Maybe pull back, quick retest, and a drive. Okay, we close back in the box, so open just bearish ignited, pushing down. Again, I don't like to trade inside a zone because I know it's accumulating, both buyers and sellers. It could definitely come back down lower. It could come back and make an impulse break out of here. Ultimately, are we waiting for volume to close? Okay, so this could be an impulse breakout, just so you guys are aware. You can go to 1 minute, for example, if you want to watch a 1 minute bar close. Okay, so I'm on the 1 minute. See, this one is closing in 10 seconds. See, it impulsively broke above there, came back down. Let's see, is it closing inside this consolidated zone? It is still inside here. So we open another 1 minute bullish ignited candle breaking out. So this is an impulse candle, impulsively breaking out on a 1 minute. Okay, will this 1 minute bar physically close above here? This is the 5 minute impulse breaking out. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I know someone's going to say, Ron, why didn't you enter? It's bullish, right? But are you waiting for this bar to close? You can even go to the 1 minute if you like. This 1 minute candle is going to close in 28 seconds. If you want to bring it down to a lower time frame, you could watch this one. I know it's breaking out right now. This is Wall Street's volume. Okay, but technically it still is an impulse breakout. When it closes, you can look on the 1 minute and see where it closes. Look at now how it got rejected, coming all the way right back down. Here's the close on the 1 minute in 3 seconds. There's the close. Okay, so will it come all the way back down and re-tap into this area? Will it continue to fill? These are 1 minute. If you're focused on the 5, unfortunately, you still have 2 minutes and 45 seconds to continue to wait for this 5 minute candle to close. I'm going to wait for the 5 minute candle to close. And I know I'm missing out on some pips on an impulse. Okay, so it came up there, got rejected there, still got some bullish volume still left in the candle. 2 more minutes and 14 seconds to go. Will it come trade back down into this consolidated zone? Will sellers be in control, push it back down? Will it close? Will this physical body close above here? Then we can maybe change this from a red to green zone, catch a retest. Maybe we will get some buying pressure, or it's just kind of a Wall Street fake, and then they're bringing it right back down. Okay, so you see that kind of impulse breakout was short-lived. That's why sometimes it's great to have a plan. There's nothing wrong with having a plan and saying, I'm going to try to avoid an impulse trade. I'm going to wait for the body to close. You can do that. That's fine. I think TradingView is acting up. It's moving a little slower right now because this candle body is not moving right now. Not sure why, but TradingView is maybe acting up over here. Okay, there, I got it moving again. So now this 5-minute candle is closing in 55 seconds. So we had NASDAQ come all the way down, coming back up bullish. This is kind of like a shooting star candle coming down on US 30. Will it close below here? Maybe we're going to continue selling off, back down to that lowest point of the day and continue to drop down. Okay, so here it comes down. Where will the close be? So do we understand impulse breaks, right? If you went in, you could have grabbed some pips, but it's not the best practice unless you know exactly what you're doing. Like the size of that wick was about 30 pips. A lot of scalpers scalp that, but they know to get in and out. Okay, here's the close. We're right back in that consolidated zone again. So it's kind of hard like this because we'll see it build and maybe do another impulse break. So, but if you're going with that push down, maybe you're waiting for this bearish body to close, unless you want to go with this volume. You see how it's moving down bearish. The daily candle is moving down bearish. They grab some highs, pushing down, but it could come down into this green box and go back up. So again, if you want to wait for this bar to close, because then we're going into 9:45. Now we could even look at a 15-minute bar. Look at the 15-minute. So remember, it opened. Came all the way up there, coming back down, taking out the low of the day. It already did. Will this 15-minute volume close below here, and then we'll get a continued push down? Look at the 15-minute candle of NASDAQ. It's like the worst candle to trade. So there's nothing wrong, guys, with waiting. There's nothing wrong with it. So, am I looking forward to the Hamza Kimev fight? Yeah, with Duplessis. That's next weekend, I believe. That's going to be an awesome fight. Okay, so we made a new lower low following the volume, following this body to close, because we're going to get 9:45, a new 15-minute candle. Gold is still trading within this range. Okay, so it's still building. We might see maybe a bullish breakout on gold if you're staying with gold today. What do you guys think of market open? Not much. Like we're not really moving anywhere. Yes, the volume has increased a little bit, but still stuck in this area. There's nothing wrong with being patient, guys. I know it sucks. I know some of you guys got ants in your pants and want to get into a trade. I do too, but sometimes you got to wait it out. Just let's see where bodies will close. Will we get a bearish body closing below this green zone for the first time today? Or no? What's for gold? Gold is breaking out. Watch for gold to close above 3358 right here, to physically close above there and build off of that, and we could continue to drive bullish. It's holding this structure really rather nicely. And DXY could be bearish, so you could see gold technically maybe possibly breaking out. NASDAQ kind of reversed its way back up, could close strong going into the new 15-minute bar. So now if we're looking at the 15-minute, now, you know, you're waiting. Remember how it looked like a spin top? Now it's actually filling with some volume to the upside, okay? Dow has volume maybe closing below here to the downside, unless it can flip or turn with some indecision. I'm following on the 5 minutes where the 5 will close, 90 more seconds to go. Okay, 60 more seconds. So I got an alert on gold crossing, so that 3358. Any gold buyers, watch up there. If you get some closing volume above, that resistance might turn into support going forward. Lee is still holding your gold buy from 3351. Nice. Hopefully it closes strong above that 5758 resistance. Maybe build off of that. Then it could trade up to 65. Just watching this US 30 NASDAQ close right here, okay? So technically, if it closes below this green zone, I'm just going to go through the motions, green to red, which it did close below, okay? So it could come in here and get rejected and continue pushing down. Okay, let's see. Open bullish. Let's see, there's initial rejection. It has not retested the red box yet, okay? So it could just be a shallow pullback, breaking down, break that wick, create a new lower low. However, if we're waiting for a technical retest, got to wait in that red box. Okay, so it did break, new lower low. Remember, this red line was previous, that zone right there, 5 minute resistance turned to support. We've got a daily yellow line below us. So it did come down to that red line. It is maybe momentarily going to come back up. I'm looking for maybe a possible retest of this red zone. Or will it just continue pushing down? Again, this candle could continue to break, but however, if I'm waiting for another 5 minute candle, maybe I gotta wait 5 more, 10 minutes more, maybe to get that retest and drop. That's all about the game of patience in trading. I know some of us are lacking patience, but we got to work on it, guys. It's not easy. It's not easy to watch, you know, candles push down where you want to get into a sell, and you're waiting up here. Sometimes patience is required. Sometimes trades will get away from us. That's okay. It happens. But just try and stick to some defined rules. And then you'll create yourself a little bit of a routine. Okay, and gold, yep. Okay, so gold did not technically close above. It's ignited pushing. So again, a nice impulse break. Maybe all of this accumulation is going to get that. But if this body closes above, we could get a pullback. And then we could be buying this block. Okay, so I'm going to let that body close. I'm not in it, but it could get a nice bullish move. And then I could be buying a pullback back down in there. Same with I'm waiting for a pullback sell of US 30. It's not there yet. It's continuing to drop. Oh man, that's lucky, Lee. you're about 10 pips from getting stopped. Now you're at 1.4 R. That's sometimes it happens, you know. Sometimes it happens. It's good that it happened. Yeah, there was sometimes on these trades where they missed my break even, my stop loss by like 3 points, and then it turned out to be a profitable trade. So it happens. You know, sometimes the forex gods are looking out for us. 90 more seconds to go. We haven't had the official retest of this red zone yet. So it's got some more room that it could fill back down. I feel like I missed out on this candle. I understand when it opened, sometimes I sell that. I would be in profit right now, but I decided to wait for a proper retest. So I don't kind of want to sell the bottom if I'm waiting for a retest. It makes no sense then. In my opinion, US 30 is moving a little bit better than NASDAQ. Nice bearish candles. And gold is going to close as well. Okay, so watching gold close. If it closes above there, make sure you go red to green. Could maybe possibly look to buy a pullback on gold. Okay, so here we go on the close on the indices. Very bearish move pushing down. So these two big body candles, maybe I got to catch a retest at 50% right here. Like if it comes down, it comes back up to 50% right there. And sometimes like that, when it just is shallow pullback, no wick and drops, if you want to sell the low, you can. If you want to wait, you can see we physically have not retested 50% of this. We haven't retested the initial breaker of this zone. So, you know, it is bleeding out. It is Wall Street. It is have more volume. That doesn't mean you can just throw the rules out the window and not wait for any retest. If you want to sell it down here, go ahead, test it out. And if you want to buy a pullback, you got to wait for gold to pull back down into here. On the 1 hour on US 30, okay, so you know that M pattern where it was coming up? So on the 1 hour, Wall Street, it's breaking through here impulsively on the hour. So you see where I'm waiting for a pullback? I might get it on the next hour, okay? It might come back up and then trade in there, and then I could sell that point and get the bigger move coming down. Okay, so right now on the hourly, you're seeing the M top came up, back down, came up, second top, dropping. There's the impulse break as if this was like a 1 minute or a 5 minute candle. It's impulsively breaking. When it officially closes in 8 minutes, maybe 10 a.m. might open up bullish, and then I might be able to sell a pullback, okay? Right now, there's been no pullback. Just 3 consecutive candles making lower lows and lower highs. So when I look at it, I missed out on selling this candle. I was waiting a little too conservative in there for that proper retest, and I missed out on that, okay? But it happens. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell the lowest point, or do you want to wait for a pullback? That's up to you. I'm going to try and wait for a pullback. If it comes to me, it comes. If it doesn't, That's how the market is moving. There might be maybe 1 hour from now it might come back up there. Maybe around 11:30 it might come back up there. Maybe it doesn't even come back up there. That's how trading works. But what I can do is I can place an alert in there. I can wait patiently the rest of today to see if it will come back in there. Also with gold, has it came back to retest? Not yet. Sucks because that was such a nice break on US 30. Man, that body that closed right below, like that quick little right there. Maybe I should have pulled the trigger. When I look back and I'm reviewing this, maybe I got too conservative in there. Maybe a little quick shallow pullback. But now you got to wait. Some of you guys might be looking to buy the bottom. Like right down in here, buy that leg back up. Just be careful. If you're getting in a buy and it comes all the way right back up there, just know that that zone has not been retested yet, okay? So if you're going to buy and you've got some nice profit coming up there, just be aware that that block has not been retested. And that was a big block today that held earlier support, the lowest point of the day. Again, it got retested there, held again. Now we just broke through it with Wall Street. So there could be a lot of pending orders waiting in there. Buy orders and sell orders. It's a big block. Okay, so we closed right at that daily yellow line. So for those traders that are trading tape to tape, we went from one yellow line to the next yellow line. If I was in that, I'm not, but if I was, that would technically be like a target for me. If I was in that, I definitely would be closing out 80% down there, leaving 20% running, possibly closing the whole entire trade, because now came down to a daily point of interest where now going into 10 a.m. could see buyers bringing it right back up, but maybe it will come up to here and then go back down. We got to watch lower highs. We can't always just wait for a pullback right here. We got to also assume maybe 50% of this point of control of this candle. Maybe it will come up there, be a lower high, and then continue pushing down. If you're looking at NASDAQ is still building inside of here. Had that break when market opened and came back up, consolidating still in here. Gold still hasn't retested this zone yet. If it comes back down to retest, you're at a daily point of interest. You got your 9 EMA maybe catching into there. Okay, so would be nice to wait for a pullback in there on gold. Came up bullish. They rejected it lower high. It might lose this bullish body and continue dropping. And we're going into 10 a.m. in 3.5 minutes. News-wise, do we have anything at 10 a.m.? This was just updated now. This wasn't on there. President Trump speaks. I didn't even see this. This just came in right now. This wasn't on our schedule today. Oh, yeah, this is today, Monday, August 11th. This just came in. Trump speaks on Trump presser on crime and homelessness at 10 a.m. Okay, so if you want to see what he's saying about homelessness, he'll be on there. He might announce a tariff on homeless people. Take them for whatever they got, whatever they have left. take their tent away, tax them on their tent, on whatever they have, on their grocery cart that they're pushing. Might put a tariff on them. Got to make America great again. Take from the poor, the homeless, and give to the filthy rich. Maybe that's what he's going to announce today. Tent and ground tax. Yeah. Don't be surprised he could do it. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, to tell you the truth. Okay, so we got a nice bullish candle coming back up. If you're in a buy, fantastic if you bought that. But still understand it's in a downtrend. Lower low, lower high. Big push down. So this could be a counter move coming back up. And here we go into the close into 10 a.m. NASDAQ is still consolidating. Gold. Okay, gold is coming down. Possible retest for 10 a.m. Keep an eye on that. I'll be watching US 30 at 10 a.m. here. 30 more seconds to go. Okay, so we might officially get our retest right here. So if you were patiently waiting, we might get our retest. So we can see that there's a pronounced bottom now at this daily point of interest, 44,130. Came all the way down, big bottom, daily position. That's why, guys, I was saying, if you're in a sell and you don't do anything at that yellow line, unfortunately, something like this can happen. Okay, so it's a bullish candle. Let's see if it can get up there. It might be a lower high. Unfortunately, as much as I want to wait for it to come in this red zone, it might just stall here and then go back down. So let's see. Come on, get it up here. It's a small little doji candle building. And Trump should be speaking at any moment. I'm sure that we'll see on Financial Juice live updates of whatever he's saying. I don't know how much it will impact the markets, but anytime he's speaking, the candles can move, okay? Wow, latest one, you bought that bottom down there? Nice. Goodbye. But now is the actual, this block retesting. So remember, for the longest time today, this here was support. It was support over there. And now that body Wall Street volume closed below. So let's see now if this is going to be resistance. Or will the buyers break through here and close it above? And this might be, again, creating a supporting block where we could move even higher. Okay, so it just came transacted in there. Got a little bit of a wick. Okay, so now it actually traded in there. Okay, coming back up. Let's see if one more time it goes down. And gold, sorry guys. Yeah, gold. Okay, so gold kind of retested, but breaking below here again. Let's see if it can come back up, create some support. If it goes below here, you might get one more leg pushing back down. I really want to watch this retest on US 30 here. Okay, so again, it came in here again. Are you guys counting how many times it's coming in here? How many times it's getting rejected back down? I've counted 2 or 3 times now. It came in here, got rejected back down. It's still holding this bullish volume in the candle. So will the sellers be able to absorb this, or will buyers continue asking to trade in here? Okay, so they rejected it multiple times with 90 seconds to go. Okay, so now this is the patient retest we wanted. We missed that sell opportunity. Well, I'm saying I missed it. I didn't take it. So now I'm getting an opportunity to sell at a premium. Okay. Instead of selling down there, I could sell right here. I'm getting a premium, but I could also get a better premium selling at this yellow line. I got to continue to watch this candle. If it closes above here, it might still continue to build to get up to here. And gold is breaking out or breaking down. You can see the US dollar is getting stronger there, the DXY. Trump is speaking right now. Nothing has came up here on Financial Juice as of yet. Okay, there's another rejection going into the close. Now we could open bearish. Okay, yeah, there it is, bearish ignited. If it pushes downward below that red box, yeah, still holding bearish. I'm gonna initiate a sell. I'm gonna test it out. It kind of transacted in the red zone, came down, went bearish, so I'm in a sell. Want to see maybe if we can come back down to that yellow zone, the yellow point of interest. I'm gonna place my stop loss above, like that kind of liquidity grab right over there, above there. So this will be maybe my final trade for this session. We'll see if it can kind of maybe form a bearish neckline, rotate its way back down here. However, if it does come back up, I don't want it to break out bullish on me and start going up here. So that's why I have a protective stop above here. Okay. So I'm going to sell on US 30, seeing if maybe we can hold. This is that selling at a premium. I patiently waited for this setup. So if it can come down back down to that red line, that's about 30 pips. But more importantly, maybe 50% of that bullish candle could be about 50 pips. If we can get it back down to that yellow line, could be about 70, 75 pip trade down there. Okay. So this is a breakdown, and I'm selling the block, which was an important block. It was green over here when the market's open futures market. It held on the pullback from London. So now Wall Street volume closed below. I flipped that zone. So now, is it representing sellers? Currently it is. I'm in profit. If I wanted a nice little 30 pip scalp right now to that red line, could be about 30, 35 pips right there, right? That's where if you kind of are scalping the markets, you can lower your risk. But however, if you're holding, I'm holding for a bigger move, we got to hold it. So it came down, higher low, buyers bringing it right back up. This is a hanging man candle. So we still have our bearish body, lots of time left on it, 3 minutes to go. Well, they continue to bid down in here and continue to drop it down while buyers are actively asking to trade here, okay? So let's see if we've found a neckline, if we can continue to break down. Will this bearish candle close below this red line? Maybe we can utilize this red line as resistance to go forward to continue to push down. We'll see what happens here. If we're taking it one candle at a time, will this bearish candle engulf this blue one down in here? Can we continue to build on the next candle? As it's coming down, this could rotate back up and start to come trade through here. And then that's where I'm in a little bit of drawdown. I know it's probably not the best time to be shorting the market when Donald Trump is talking, because he's probably going to be talking great things about the US right now. Maybe the US dollar will be bullish on that. It might coincide with a bullish stock market, so it's not easy to be shorting the market while Donald Trump is talking. I'm not sure he's going to say anything negative about the United States. I'm just trading the blocks. So this bar is going to close now in 40 seconds. Let's see when and where we'll close. Okay, so again, let's watch. Will it engulf this bar relative to this bullish bar? Where will it close? Will the buyers bring it right back up last 30 seconds? Lots to decide, but we got to wait for the body to officially close. NASDAQ is barcoding bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, targeting this daily point of interest up here. Okay, so now we're closing in 5 seconds. We got a bearish engulfing bar right now, engulfing the previous bar. That's good in a sell situation. We're below the 9 EMA, which is representing 50% of that previous candle. So if I get my cut line just for a shallow pullback right there, we got an ignited bearish bar. That's perfect. That's better than getting a retest. Ignited bearish bar maybe wants to continue to push down to the downside, but we're having difficulty breaking the previous candle's low. So it's technically tweezer top bottoms. We've got a little bit of bullish volume, which could technically come back and test 50% or back into the red block. We could also barcode down here where it's bullish, bearish, bullish. Well, let's see if we can continue. Maybe sellers increase their offers in here and maybe take out some of these buyers and push it right back down. It's not easy to break down a big bullish candle coming out of Wall Street, especially when Donald Trump is speaking right now. It's not easy to break that down. And those tweezer bottom lows, oh, I hate those things. There they are, 44,173 right there where my dotted lines are. That last low and that last low, showing you tweezer bottom lows on 5 minutes and how it's holding up the market right now. So we got to continue maybe to break that low, create a new lower low, and then start to bleed out a little bit down into here. Okay, so now it's reattempting to break those lows. There it is again. They held it again. So those tweezer bottom lows are still intact. If I, look guys, look at where my cursor is. See how it's still holding those equal lows right there? Right there, that low and that previous body low. Still holding. We have not broke them down. So when you're not breaking these down, you're just allowing more time for the market to continue to accumulate up here. We need sellers to bid down at this red line at 172 so that it can start to drag the market down, right? For sellers, I'm in a sell. But for buyers, you guys buying, that's perfect for you because you're developing a strong depth of market right now. So it's holding, but you also are not creating any new higher highs up here. You're still below 50% of that point of control, that candle. So there's still those sellers who are accumulating, buyers, while we're trying to break there. Okay, so we broke the new lower low. That's great, it's good, but we need now closing volume to continue to come down and close below that red line so we can make this active red line, which is support, going forward into resistance. Okay, and that's about 30 plus pips. If you're just looking for a quick scalp, there's 35 pips. Okay, you could reduce your risk at that point if you like. But if we're continuing to look for 50 pips, we got to trade into about 50% of that bullish candle, which we're coming down to. Okay. So you see, waiting for a proper retest can net you 50 pips right there. That's 50 pips, guys. Proper retest, there we go. Absolutely zero drawdown. Okay. Just like that, patience. Hit a daily goal, just like that. Okay. That's up to you. When you want to take out profit, you should have a rule. 50-50, 80-20, stop loss, break even. I'm going to reduce my stop loss right there, just above that red zone. I'm up 60 pips. I'm going to take out 80% there. Take out 80%, hit my daily goal, and leave 20% running. Easy peasy. Just took time, guys. It just took time to wait for that pullback. Patience pays off, right? If we come all the way down to that yellow line, that could be a target and collect 75 pips down there. It's up to you guys. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. You guys do what you want to do. You guys, if you're happy, keep it running. I'm going to go to a full break even now and take out the remaining 20% down there because we're going overtime now on here. It's over almost 10:15. Guys, I'm going to close my entire trade. That's it. Hit my daily goal. Just like that. I could have sold that candle early on. I didn't. It came down to the daily point of interest. Some of you guys bought that. Fantastic. But remember what I was saying. You're coming into a red block. If you're a buyer, you got to understand, you got to do something there. Otherwise, you're going to maybe possibly piss away your beautiful buy trade. And then I waited in there. I saw it got rejected. See how I pulled the trigger on the next bar? Just after 10 a.m., 10:05. I pulled the trigger. And we got a bearish engulfing candle. It's still below 50%. You can bring your cut line, you can bring your cut line down to complement this closing bar in 10 seconds when it closes, whereas 50% of it. And let's see if we continue to break this daily point of interest and maybe continue to break down. I'm out of the trade. If you guys got runners or holding the entire trade, I hope it continues to break down and you can continue to bank some profit off of it. But if it fills to that bottom wick, just measure the move. Could be about 100 pips down there and then maybe get a new lower low, okay? It has to retest 50%. Might be a lower, shallow pullback or point of control. So did you guys understand that? That was all about execution, patience, and discipline. We talk about this every single day on these calls. It's now illustrated to you guys in a live environment. I told you guys, I know it sucks. I was watching it fall down. I watched that big body candle, but I played the blocks. And I'm surprised that it kind of broke down with Trump talking right now. So got to be happy with that. Hopefully we hit some pips, guys. On YouTube, hit the likes, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get this up to 82,200. This is live. 6 more subscribers and we'll hit 82,200. We'll maybe have a giveaway for you guys this week. Hit the likes. If you want live education, this is probably the proper place to get it. Thank you guys. Appreciate everybody. This is the start of the week. This is just a Monday. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Let's do this again tomorrow. Let's continue learning and earning together, guys. If you're going to continue trading the rest of today, just follow risk management, follow your trading rules. If a trade gets away from you, no problem. Learn patience and discipline. Hopefully I showed it to you guys, how sometimes you can be patient. Remember what I said? I want to sell at a premium. This was a premium area. I could have sold the bottom of this candle. I could have sold the bottom of that candle, but that's selling the lowest point. This is selling at a premium. Just like down here, if you wanted to buy this, buy this, buy this, you bought at a discount where it's a daily level, point of interest. So just, review this trade if you have to, but just get in the habit, guys, of learning patience and discipline. The more patient you get, the more money you can make in the markets on a daily basis, okay? But hopefully that helped, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Shout outs to everybody that had a great weekend. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Subscribe, like the channel. Everyone on Zoom, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Captain Boom, have a great day. Daniela, Jonathan, Sergio, have a great day, guys. Christoph, Ethan, take care. Red, cheers, bro. Take care. Dave has a day off today, Dale. Dave will be back tomorrow afternoon. Next SST session is tomorrow morning with myself, 7 a.m., and then Dave will be post. Have a great day.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.